Welcome to City, your number one. Don't look no further. We've got it all covered. City FM.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, my neighbor.
Good morning to life.
Good morning.
Music, talk, inspiration, in perspective.
Express yourself.
Good morning, my neighbor.
City FM, your station.
It's a refreshing lifestyle.
City FM 97.3.
Unleashing the power of relevant radio. This is City 97.3.
The Citi Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise.
You are gracious. I can testify you are good. I can only say. So again, you are kind. Everybody say. Clap your hands.
The Citi Breakfast Show. This is the Citi Breakfast Show.
Lift your hands, say, for the Lord is good. Yeah, forever. I could testify, yeah. Oh, na. Everybody take it.
Six 27. Welcome to the Friday edition of the Citi Breakfast Show, live on your dial 97.3 FM. My name is Nathan Cross, sitting in for your regular host Bernard Avler. It's always a pleasure bringing you the biggest breakfast in town on a Friday morning. Grab a seat, let's break bread. Join us on the number 0549 986 996. On Twitter at Citi973, hashtag CityCBS. And you're also listening to us live on citynewsroom.com. There's no better way to start a Friday morning than playing this song. Take Bay, from the Bethel Revival Choir, featuring Pastor Edwin. That's it. The song be jam. Our God is good forever and ever and ever. Start off with our business sense for the morning, brought to us by ADB. ADB is asking if you are a paid employee or a salaried worker, and they're asking whether or not you need a personal loan to resolve your financial issues. ADB is offering you a variety of personal loans, including top-up loans at significantly reduced interest rates, and you will get a longer tenor of up to 6 years. This offer is open to non-customers as well, so kindly visit the nearest ADB branch or call 0302-210-210 or 0302-224-043. ADB, the People's Bank, ADB, truly a Greek and more. Today's business sense comes from one of the greatest and probably one of the most talented men, a man of different parts in his time, Benjamin Franklin. And he shared very, very simple words of wisdom. He says, by failing to prepare, you are preparing to fail. By failing to prepare, you are preparing to fail. It's as simple as that. Now, if you do not prepare, and you walk into anything unprepared or not ready, it will not go well. It doesn't matter whether it's an exam, a test, an assignment, your work day. If you walk into anything unprepared, be ready to fail. Be ready to be caught by a haymaker you are not seeing. Be ready to be tripped up by something you are not paying attention to. So by failing to prepare, you are preparing to fail. That's our business sense for the morning. It's very simple, but deep and very, very, very striking and poignant. Business sense brought to us by ADB. ADB is the People's Bank. ADB, truly a Greek and more. The newspaper review comes up next. This is still the Citi Breakfast Show. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show.
Meet Mr. Ansar. He prefers to receive money from his friends and loved ones through the Agricultural Development Bank's remittance services, and his reason is simple.
Oh, for me, my brother lives overseas and he often sends me money. I can access it at any ADB branch nationwide, and what he sends is exactly what I receive. No wahala.
Is that why you prefer ADB's remittance services?
Of course. Well, whether it is Western Union, MoneyGram, ZPay Instant Money, Unity Link, Real Money Transfer, or Transfast, receiving my money through ADB's remittance services is guaranteed. And with some of these services, you can receive the money directly into your ADB account. Do you know what the best part is?
Share with us.
I can receive it at any ADB branch or selected branches on Saturdays and holidays. So my brother, you see, if you go somewhere else and you don't receive payment on time, all I can say is woko yeah.
Visit any of ADB's 87 networked branches nationwide, whether you are a customer or not, for the best in remittance services. ADB, truly a Greek and more.
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CitiCBS.
The Citi Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise.
Unleashing the power of relevant radio. This is Citi 97.3.
Now I see places and faces, things you ain't never thought about thinking. If you ain't peeped, then you must be drinking and smoking, pretending that you're loking, but you're broken. Let me get you open. Now little Timmy got his diploma and little Timmy got life, and Tamika around the corner just took her first hit off the pipe.
Yeah, they share mother
Nobody
side.
shared it. You brought the jersey for you brought the jersey for signature.
Yes.
You're here telling me they shared it.
They said they were going to bring me some. They have not brought it.
I'm wearing my
Tariq Lamptey. How many times have I called your name?
DRA is looking for you. Read it. Now, we are planting trees today.
We are planting trees.
Yeah,
yes,
Green Ghana
yes,
will be
yes.
there.
Yes.
Anyway, let me take you to the front page of the Daily Graphic immediately. Supreme Court refers judge, registrar to Chief Justice for investigations on the expungement of Kweson's name, sharp division in Parliament. I'm sure Scar will be able to explain that. Asawase is the hub of rickshaw business. It's NDC Safe Seat. That's a constituency watch. And MIDA to manage Ghana Cares Obatampa project.
I see.
Let me take you to the Ghanaian Times. GRA, 5 others plot to fight corruption to enhance revenue mobilization, facilitate trade in customs operations as well. Also, yesterday, the Minister for Communications was in Parliament, the Honourable Mrs. Esla Owusu-Ekufo. And we are told this morning on the front page of the Times that SIM card blockade brouhaha apply to NCA for exemption if you have concerns. This is coming in from the minister who was in Parliament yesterday. Also, respect rise of prison inmates. The president is sending, notice to the prison officers of our country. And then businesswoman gets 8 years for human trafficking.
Wow.
On the front page of the Daily Guide, a rather sad story. Abortion kills 12-year-old girl. I'm not afraid of jail from Pomboating. And Ochehene clears air on Asamankas' stool.
The Chronicle says confusion in Parliament over Kweson's expulsion. Also, Alan Cash solicits for cash to prosecute campaign.
Alan needs cash.
Akufo-Addo opens $10 million National Aquaculture Center. MP adopts strategy to avoid fuel shortage in Ghana. And NEIP gives grants to 30 hubs.
Front page of the Republic Press, this paper this morning also has Frimpong Boateng on this front page. Obatampa project is on the front page. Backbend waves into Jachi Kwesion controversy. And mother arrested for abusing 4-year-old child at Yeji.
Let me take you to the Finder newspaper. 24.39 million trees survived in 2 years. Another 10 million to be planted today under Green Ghana Day. Also, Goil's profit up by 26% to 123.89 million Ghana cedis. That's good. That's good. Also, something I've been talking about, and EcoBank appears to be taking the lead. EcoBank unveils single market trade hub to boost inter-African trade. And succession codification is key to resolving chieftaincy disputes, according to the Minister for Chieftaincy, Stephen Asamoah-Boateng.
The front page of the Herald this morning, NDC MP tackles Pastor Kuku Anyudoho for lying, and the pastor is in quotes. Attorney General struggling to find witnesses for Opuni Agongo trial. Charles Bisius on the front page of the paper as well.
The Ghanaian Observer says this morning, government's food security agenda receives a massive boost. Also, Minister rallies Ghanaians to support tree planting exercise. And then we're told that MPA takes measures to avoid fuel shortage.
The Anchor newspaper this morning, rather tragic story in the U.S. in Columbus. Ghanaian chief shoots wife, kills himself after partner allegedly threatened divorce. And Duka, that's Honorable Miku Duka, pushes for Minerals Revenue Management Act.
The Inquisitor says this morning, wasteful venture, GRA blows cash on transfer of 906 customs officials. Also, energy security is Ghana's topmost priority. NAPO speaking to investors in London. And then something here that says Opuni Agongo trial. We can't locate our witnesses. AG begs for more time.
The front page of the BNFT finally from me, Nathan. Mid-year budget must chart path to economic recovery. It's coming from the minority leader. North and Ahafo have highest rate of unvaccinated children.
Okay, if you go online, citynewsroom.com, before we get into the stories, there's a big banner at the top which says Green Ghana Day, hashtag Let's Go Planting. 10 million trees on the 9th of June. Theme, Our Forest, Our Health. So that's what we'll be doing on a national scale today. But in terms of the news stories, the minority says next NDC government will undertake a proper SIM re-registration exercise.
Look, we are tired of this re-registration. Let's get the thing once and for all. What this business of this man comes, I will do this man comes, I will do this.
Okay,
Ghanaians get to be pulled into the lines with standing in the queue for so many hours.
We'll get
it's just annoying.
We'll get
we should
into
stop it. And with the Electoral Commission too, every time they will be there and they want you to re-register. Let's update the system and make it work.
Okay, all right. To other matters, IMSIM probe, OSP interrogates Eko Ewusi, Peace FM journalist. Amakwata says, we'll complete Kumewu roads to shame doubting Thomases. And government issues 1 month ultimatum for merchant subscribers to register SIMs. And Charles Bisu seeks another court order to halt prosecution by OSP. Anyway, other stories. Professor Frimpong says, I'm not scared of prosecution. And MPs propose legislation to regulate artificial intelligence. Citybusinessnews.com says, government aims to transform fishing industry with new aquaculture center. Government committed to prioritizing gender mainstreaming in energy policies. That's according to Herbert Crapper. And go digital to increase customer reach. Businesses told. That's part of the City Business Festival. And GRA apprehends shop owners at Achimota for tax infractions. If you go to citysportonline.com, Raphael Jambra says Bono ranks low in regions engaged in hooliganism this season. So that's that. On the under 23 AFCON, Ibrahim Tanko is named Nuruddin Abdullah Clinton. Okay, he says he hasn't named Nuruddin Abdullah and Clinton Dodu in Black Meteor's local contingent. There's a provisional list that's come out there. And the Armstrong Motorbase says new Hearts coach must be able to juggle pressure from management and fans. And Abdul Salih Samed has extended his contract at RC Lens by a year. And Kamaldeen Konigsdorfer named in Tanko's provisional squad for the under 23 AFCON. If you go to myjoyonline.com, Dr. Ofori is saying gold for oil policy cornering BDCs. So that's what is going on there. Bedu Abwaje says things will get better, but not this year. That's in relation to the economic crisis. And Charles Bisu will not turn himself in despite court order for his arrest. That's according to a lawyer. And the comms minister says, contact NCA if you are without a Ghana card and your SIM has been deactivated. So that is the lowdown from that side. And if you go international, the BBC has a live ticker which says Ukraine on attack in South to split Russian stronghold. And Donald Trump faces 7 charges over secret files. Yes, guy, you're a very good friend.
Why have they not charged the president? Why are they not charging the president for materials found in his possession too?
Okay, let's proceed. And children stabbed in French Park in stable condition. I don't know why you want to ask him. They said
the laws must be applied fairly. It can't be.
So you are saying that is not being applied.
Well, I think that's what it would seem. Anyway. Because we are told by the reports that he equally had in his possession, what do you call it?
Documents.
Yes, classified materials. So
maybe he didn't abstract anything.
Oh, Charlie.
All right, let's move on.
Okay, let me take you to the Finder. Today is Green Ghana Day, right?
Yes.
And Elvis Darko reporting for the Finder says this morning that analysis of data on government's tree planting exercise for the past 2 years indicates that out of the 33 million trees planted cumulatively, some 24.39 million survived. Now, this cuts or puts the cumulative survival rate of the trees trees planting exercise spearheaded by the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources for the 2 years at 74%. Yeah, so it should be tree planting exercise, not trees planting exercise. Now, in spite of, it goes on to say, in the first year of the tree planting exercise in 2021, the target was to plant 5 million trees. But at the end of the exercise, 7 million seedlings were planted. Now it goes on to say that research conducted conducted the following year indicates that 5.67 million seedling, representing 81%, survived. And then it goes on to say that for 2022, more than 26 million trees were planted, exceeding the 20 million target. You know, there's a problem I always have with reading the Finder newspaper. You know, they attempt to want to give sub-headlines, right? To properly segment the story.
Which is not a bad idea.
Yeah, they don't do. Yeah, generally it's not a bad. It's something that is done, but they don't do it properly. So you see, for instance, it is not in bold, right? 74% survival rate. Is it really necessary? No. So if you are reading it and you're not careful, you'll be reading all kinds of things. So my good friend Novi Elvis Dako, it's not tidy.
Let me take you to Parliament, where there's a lot of politics on the front page of the Daily Graphic. Expungement of Kweson's name, sharp division in Parliament. Parliament was sharply divided over the expungement of James Jachi Kweson's name from the records of the House yesterday, as agitated lawmakers from both sides debated the Supreme Court order, leaving the Speaker at the center. In a shared defiance, the MP for Boko Central, Mahama Ayaga, contended that per the recent ruling of the Supreme Court, it was only the name of the former member of Parliament for Asin North which was to be expunged from the records, and not all records or whatever contributions he had made to Parliament. The heated debate was born out of a detection in the votes and proceedings for yesterday's business by the MP for North Tong, Okujuta Blakwa, that Mr. Quincy's name had been removed. Mr. Ayaga maintained that since the Speaker, Alban Sumana Bagbin, had directed the leadership of the House to devise a process to expunge the former MP's name, it was wrong for the table office to delete his name when such exercise had not taken place yet. The views of Mr. Ayaga were strongly affirmed by the MP for Zebila Cletus Avoka. So it looks like this matter is going to go for some time. Let me stay in Parliament because Asin North political campaigning is heating up. On page 18 of the Daily Graphic. Charles Upuku and James Jachi Kweson are the ones who are contesting. One representing Charles is representing the MPP, James Jachi Kweson, of course, representing the NDC. And on page 19 of the same paper, the flag bearer of the NDC, John Dramani Mahama, has met with parties, sitting members of Parliament who lost their re-election bid in the parliamentary primary held on May 13, 2023.
Okay, so let me just mention quickly that still on politics, the man seeking to lead the MPP, Alan Chermanting, has launched an app with which he hopes to raise funds to support his campaign. So if you are interested in that story, the details are on page 5 of the Finder newspaper, and if you want to support, you know what to do. And then also, let's stay in Parliament briefly, if you wouldn't mind.
Yes, I was
page
staying there.
3 of the Chronicle has a story that says 28 million SIM cards registered with Ghana card. Now, Edie Yere, reporting for the Chronicle on page 3, says that Mrs. Eslausu Ekuful, the Minister of Communications and Digitalization, has informed Parliament that over 28 million mobile SIM cards have been successfully registered since the commencement of the registration exercise using the Ghana card. Now, she said the nationwide SIM card registration exercise, which commenced on October 1, 2021, would go a long way to help develop and build a SIM database with integrity, which would assist in the curbing of fraudulent activities and the securing of SIM card-based transactions. Now, Mrs. Ekufu said this on the floor of Parliament when she appeared before the House to give an update of the state of SIM card registration exercise. And yesterday, I was there. A number of minority MPs actually took on the minister and how the matter has thus far been handled. And they were not happy that people are being denied their daily bread because for some reason they don't have the Ghana card, and therefore they were prevented from registering. And as a result of that, their cards have been terminated. Something has got to be done about that. And I was happy to hear the minister suggest that if you do not have the Ghana card for a good reason, so you apply for it and you have proof of application, and you do not have it, what you can do, and your card is terminated, what you can do is to inform the communications ministry, you contact them, and they will have a way of resolving the matter.
But you mentioned the minority. They say they will embark on another SIM re-registration exercise if the NDC gets re-elected. Now, Samuel Nate George, who's the deputy ranking member of the Communications Committee of Parliament, expressed concerns over the current process and highlighted the NDC's intention to conduct another one in future. Now, he says with this one, quote, it will not involve your having to go and queue in telecom offices, but we'll do a proper re-registration of SIM cards. End quote. Meanwhile, the Communications Minister, Esther Uswe-Kufo, has announced that mobile network operators are working with the Bank of Ghana to facilitate the retrieval of funds for individuals whose monies are locked up in mobile money accounts. Momo.
That's good. But how about the people who have refused to pay their Momo loans?
Their Momo loans.
And they have run away. They are using anyway. Let's stay with issues of finance because the Ghanaian Times has a story on GRA and 5 others plotting to fight corruption. And the story is on page 11 of the Ghanaian Times. And let me give you just the first few paragraphs of the story. And Claude Nyako Adams, reporting for the Ghanaian Times, says that the Ghana Revenue Authority, GRA, has partnered 5 organizations to tackle corruption in customs operations for enhanced revenue mobilization and trade facilitation. Now, the organizations are the Commission on Human Rights and Administrative Justice, SHRAJ, Ghana Integrity Initiative, GII, Office of the Head of Civil Service, the Committee of Freight Forwarders Association, COFA, and the World Customs Organization, WCO. Now, the partnership is dubbed Fighting Corruption and Promoting Integrity through Collective Action. Now, it forms part of the Anti-Corruption and Integrity Promotion Program rolled out by the WCO in 2019 to restrict corrupt behavior and promote good governance in customs operations and administration in Ghana and 7 other nations.
Let me take you to page 13 of the Daily Graphic, where the Supreme Court has referred Justice Emmanuel Ankama, now a Justice of the Court of Appeal, to the Chief Justice to investigate his conduct when he presided over a case involving the estate of a deceased pastor. Also referred to the Chief Justice for investigation are the then Court Registrar Sebastian Agbo and all officers who played any role in what the Supreme Court described as, quote, this shameful species of conduct when the case was tried at the Tema High Court in 2022. In a unanimous decision last Tuesday, a 5-member panel of the Apex Court, presided over by Justice Jones, said the antecedents of the case cast a slur on the integrity of the judicial system. Now, this has to do with a land case in the estate of the late Reverend Emmanuel Dogbaji, and the Supreme Court is not very happy with how Justice Ankama dealt with
apparently
this matter.
There was a caveat that was issued. A caveat basically seeks to stop a person from administering the property of the deceased person. So somehow they said they surreptitiously,
without hearing the other side.
Without hearing the other side. And anyway, the justices were not happy. I just want us to stay quickly with the court.
With the court, yes.
Yeah, something I want to bring to your attention. We're told that a businesswoman gets 8 years for human trafficking. And this story is heartbreaking. So the story says that a businesswoman who recruited and trafficked a woman from Ghana to Kurdistan, Iraq, has been sentenced to 8 years imprisonment by the Circuit Court in Accra. Now, Beatrice Ofori, the convict, is said to have received $4,500 and $700 from an agency to recruit and traffic the victim to Iraq, with the promise of securing her, in this case, the victim's seamstress job. However, the victim ended up being a domestic servant who suffered inhumane treatment. Wow. Charged with human trafficking, Beatrice pleaded not guilty, but the court presided over by Mrs. Christina Khan found her guilty and sentenced her accordingly. We're told that the woman was subjected to sexual abuse and all kinds of things. And this is happening in a country where so many people are dying for, all kinds of jobs and are rushing out of the country.
Well,
so
two more stories to do with crime. Yes, on the page 12 of the Republic Press. A 29-year-old single mother, Mary Edu, is in the grips of the Pru East District Police for abusing her 4-year-old son. The mother was arrested after a neighbor, which is good, made complaints to the social welfare officers of the inhumane treatment she meets out to her son. Mr. David Duku, who made the report, told the media that he witnessed her physically assaulting her son for hours, so he was covered in blood. So he went to report her, and she's been arrested. And then also in the U.S., a man has shot himself and his wife after she threatened to divorce him. Says the deceased Kwabena Michael Mwakun was 49, had an argument with his wife Yajen Fua, who is now in critical condition at the Riverside Methodist Hospital.
Okay, I wanted to give you an update on the fight against Galamsey. The Office of the Special Prosecutor has expanded its investigation into the activities and expenditure of the defunct IMSIM by interrogating 2 more persons.
Good.
Horace Ekwewusi, the immediate past first vice chairman of the NPP in the Central Region, and Seth Mante, a journalist with Accra-based Peace FM, were both arrested and questioned as part of the ongoing probe. The interrogation of Messrs. Ewusi and Mante occurred following the recent questioning of Professor Frimpong Boateng, and the IMSIM was responsible for addressing the issue of illegal mining, and Professor Frimpong Boateng compiled a report highlighting various individuals involved in the act, including Messrs. Ewusi and Mante. According to sources, Ewusi and Mante were interviewed, cautioned, and subsequently granted bail. So that's the update there.
Oh, that's good. In the meantime, though, we are told that we can't locate our witnesses. The AG is begging for more time in connection with the Agungo trial, the Opuni and Agungo trial. The story says the Attorney General's Department has yet again appealed to the High Court hearing the trial of the former Cocoa Board boss and 2 others to afford the state more time to reassemble witnesses for the retrial. Now, according to Mrs. Evelyn Kilson, Chief State Attorney, the prosecution is still finding it difficult to get people to testify against the accused. Why? The court the court here says that, my lord, unfortunately, we have still not been able to file our witness statements. Charlie, there's some way. How can you not find it? If you can't find it, then let's just stop wasting everybody's time.
And then,
this matter has gone on for how many years?
A long time.
Oh, quite a long time.
Judges change and all. Finally, from my side, let me take you international. Nathan on page 5, the Daily Graphic. So in Nigeria, sex for grades outlawed. Nigeria's outgoing parliament has finally passed a bill that aims to prevent the sexual harassment of university students.
Yes.
Once it is signed into law by newly elected President Bola Tinubu, it will be illegal for lecturers to make any sexual advances towards students. Those who do have sexual relationships with their students could face up to 14 years in jail. And in Namibia, they have banned the export of unprocessed lithium and other critical minerals. The government announced on Thursday as it seeks to profit from growing global demand for metals used in clean energy technologies. The Southern African country has significant deposits of lithium, which is vital for renewable energy storage. And they are saying, well, we are processing it here before it goes
I think
out.
we have to get back to that story sometime later on the show on the Nigeria situation.
Okay.
Yes,
and then also let me mention quickly that, a couple of days ago I was talking about what I recommended in my dissertation on boosting intra-African trade, a platform for the purpose. I'm told by the Finder, page 4, that EcoBank unveils single market trade hub to boost intra-African trade. Please, if you have time, please find a copy of the Finder and read that story.
Page 4.
Great,
All
great. I commend it.
Guys, thank you so much. That was a newspaper review. Thank you, Godfred. Thank you, Richard. Coming up next is the City Business News.
You know, Papa, see that? And it's rickety car. Hey, Papa!
Bobo, so how's your engine now?
It is half man, half amazing. Thanks to Quartz and you can feel better energy. Can't touch this. Actually, guys, so Sancho's engine just died like that. Yes, so somebody managed to convince him that there is a better engine oil than Quartz, and he switched. Sancho Panza. Now, which engine oil can be better than Quartz? No other, my guy. Quartz with its age-resistant technology, it keeps your engine younger for longer. Now you know. Have you guys seen the new bottle design? It's superb. Quartz 9000 from Total Energies there improves fuel efficiency. Why do you think Mr. Mane and Logoso have taken the Quartz Nation movement World Cup like that? Sorry. Chairman Omani. Chairman. Hey, Chairman! Quartz. Keep your engine younger for longer.
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CityCBS.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show.
6:59. Coming up next is the City Business News brought to us by Goyle. Now, what do you do when you run out of fuel in your vehicle? Do you just top up anywhere? Don't do that. Get to a Goyle service station and enjoy their products. They've got the Goyle Super XP Raw 95 and Diesel XP. All of them are great fuels for your car. Now, Goyle has over 440 stations across the country. Join the family that rewards you with quality for an energized driving experience. Well, good energy going. And the City Business News also brought to us by MTN. Have you considered or have you wondered how to subscribe to a particular service, how to view, add or cancel your mobile subscription all from one place? Just dial *175# to access and manage all your subscriptions everywhere you go. Vivian Kailoko is here. She's got the latest from the world of business.
And hello, you're welcome to the breakfast edition of City Business News brought to you by Goyle and MTN. Let's bring you our stories. We'll start with the National Pensions Regulatory Authority, NPRA, because it has announced moves to increase pension penetration among the informal sector workers. The move, if finalized, will see the increase of penetration from 6 to 25% by 2026. Now, the authority explains that although a section of the informal sector hold a misconception about pensions, it is committed in its sensitization drive to ensure that its targets are achieved. Here's the Chief Executive Officer of the National Pensions Regulatory Authority, Hayford Atakrofi, speaking to City Business News.
The response has been good, but of course, because of the perception that pension is for the formal sector, it has to really go down for people to wake up from that kind of wrong or negative perception. So it becomes even more important that we do more as much as we are doing. I mean, for example, up to about last 2 years, there was only 1% of Ghanaians who were in the informal sector who had registered onto a pension scheme one way or the other. But currently, it's now 6%. So the progress is being made, even though it's slow, but it's steady. And in our strategic plan, we have aimed that by 2026, we should be able to move it to 25% of the working population.
That was the Chief Executive Officer of the National Pensions Regulatory Authority, Hayford Atakrofi. Now, the Director of the ECOWAS Gender Development Center, Monka Sandra Ulute, has highlighted the significant progress made by the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, in establishing a roadmap for transitioning to a green economy. She noted that ECOWAS member states had successfully laid the groundwork for a comprehensive transition to a green economy between 2023 and 2025. Monka Sandra Ulite revealed this at a gender summit here in Accra.
So adopt policies that promote this transition for women, obtain a commitment from states to support the transition, improve women's skills through capacity building, promote access to education and the involvement of girls, encourage women to invest in new green jobs, involve the private sector in the transition to a green economy, put in place mitigation policies, take into account other women's empowerment programs that can impact the transition to the green economy, facilitate access to land, particularly in agroforestry, ensure access to finance, emphasize social responsibility and monitoring and evaluation, promote synergy between the various actors involved in the transition to the green economy, and promote synergy amongst our member states.
That is the Director of the ECOWAS Gender Development Center, Moka Sandra Oluwalate. Now, in a bid to fortify security on its digital platforms, Ecobank Ghana PLC has indicated that it is working with telcos in the country to strengthen the process of securing a SIM swap. Now, the managing director of Ecobank Ghana PLC, Daniel Nikwe Kumasaki, said through the bank's efforts, mobile wallet scams have been drastically reduced. He further assured that the bank's digital platforms will be safe and secure to protect the funds of all customers from fraudsters. Daniel Nikwe Kumasaki was speaking at the annual general meeting of Ecobank Ghana PLC on Thursday.
If you realize some of the fraudulent incidents that occurred, in most cases, people were called and they gave out their password willingly. If we go back 2-3 years ago, this happened extensively on some of the mobile wallets. But with education, we've seen that the instances have sort of declined. So we'll continue working with us and then the telcos and also through education to ensure that the process for securing a SIM swap is strengthened, that you need another level of verifications. Once that process is closed, you realize that most of the frauds can be dealt with. We have worked closely with the telcos to implement something that assures us that these notices will be sent. And since we did that, we've not had a single fraud due to SIM swap. But at the end of the day, there will be no safety if we compromise and we share our passwords with some who are our friends, some who are our own family relations. So we'll continue the education process, and we at the bank will continue to invest in technology to ensure that the platform is safe.
Daniel Nikwe Kumasaki is the managing director of Ecobank Ghana PLC. Let's find out how the city is performing this morning. Let's go to the interbank foreign exchange market, where banks trade among themselves. The dollar remained unchanged, selling at 10 cedis, 98 pesos. The British pound gained at 10 pesos, is selling at 13 cedis, 78 pesos. The euro gained 7 pesos, selling at 11 cedis, 83 pesos. However, at some forex bureaus in the capital, the dollar is selling at 11 cedis, 70 pesos, while the British pound is selling at 14 cedis, 55 pesos, and the euro is going for 12 cedis, 45 pesos. Let's now join Gillian Hammer of DataBank for part 2 of the topic, why you should know your retirement number.
When it comes to retirement planning, you should start investing towards it the day you get your first paycheck and not wait until you reach age 55, which is what many people do. Unfortunately, the longer you wait to start, the higher your retirement number will be. At DataBank, we tell you your retirement number is the amount you should be investing regularly, we like to say monthly, to achieve your retirement goal. Time is a major differentiator in calculating your retirement number. Let me explain using a range of ages. Let's assume 6 people all want to retire at age 60 with 1 million cedis, and each person's investment will grow at an average of 15% each year. The only difference is their age. Let's look at the difference in their retirement numbers. If you're age 25, your retirement number is 89 cedis a month. If you're age 30, it's 180 cedis a month. If you're 35, it's 367 cedis a month. If you're 40, it's 762 cedis. If you're 45, it's 1,641 cedis a month. And if you're 50, it's 3,846 cedis a month. As I've said before, your retirement number doubles every 5 years you wait. To calculate your retirement number, visit DataBank's website at www.databankgroup.com and enter your details in the retirement calculator. Don't let time steal your retirement dreams. Invest wisely.
Gillian Hammer of DataBank. Well, that's it for the breakfast edition of City Business News, brought to you by MTN and Goyle, also powered by citybusinessnews.com. Log on to that website to get some business news updates. The business edition is up next. My name is Vivian Kai Loco. Do have a good business day.
If home is where the heart is, then let's go home, shall we? Let's go where the entertainment is, where the passion is, where the laughter is, and sometimes even the tears too. Let's go where we feel safe enough to share our opinions,
and send tweets,
where we do that embarrassing little dance to our favorite song. Let's go home where the love, the care, and the joy live.
There's no place like home. Connect your home to super fast internet with affordable data bundles from MTN Home. Visit broadband.mtn.com.gh or your My MTN app to sign up today. MTN.
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CitiCBS.
The Citi Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise.
Scatter my head, you just scatter my head. Though. Another one, this. Wait till my face, baby, wait till my face. So, Obi do wa wanna.
7:10. There's still the Citi Breakfast Show. Now, the biggest business festival in Ghana is on. Mark your calendars because this month is the Citi Business Festival month. The theme is Make It Ghana. Now, it's a month-long conversation on how to grow, improve, and expand your business with seasoned industry experts. Now, there's a weekly business forum every Tuesday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. live on Citi TV to discuss various things. So week one, or this week, we have been speaking about reimagining the digital economy. Week 2, we'll talk about building resilient SME brands. Week 3, we'll talk about the changing phase of the Ghanaian retail market. And week 4, we will look at understanding and leveraging agribusiness value chains. Also tune in every weekday at 9:05 on the Citi Breakfast Show for the on-air series to get all the information you need to kickstart and strengthen your business. The Citi Business Festival 2023 is powered by Citi TV and Citi FM in partnership with APSA and is proudly sponsored by MTN Momo, MTN Business, and ZPay with support from Gersel.
Yes, I'm a house at once, not Bobby. Just Bobby. Yes, I'm a house at once, not Bobby.
Well, let's get into the Citi Business Edition, and today we are having a conversation on your personal finance. Now, for many of us, the turbulent times in the past year have affected our financial planning, and so we need to figure out how to get it back on track. We are speaking with Letitia Ohini-Efa, co-founder of Lead Africa International, and she will be sharing some clues on how to do that in today's episode of the Citi Business Edition. That's coming right up. Stay tuned and enjoy.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show.
Please wait. Please wait. Please wait until I get my new car. Please wait until I find my real size. I'm gonna get me some love so bad. My girl, sweet girl, my girl. I can see all your joy. I can see the world for you.
Welcome to another edition of the On-Air series for the 2023 Citi Business Festival. On Fridays, we have a special edition that focuses on personal finance, looking at the difficulties of 2022, the high levels of inflation, the debt exchange program, and the haircuts that were experienced. We believe a lot of us need to have a reset of our personal finances. How do we do this? We're doing this through the eyes and the minds of some specific guests. So for today, my guest is Letitia Ohini-Efa. She's a woman of many parts, family woman. Back in school, runs Leader Freak. Also, part-time radio host on Citi when she has time. We've asked her to help us. Lots of people are thinking of resetting their finances. Some have lost their jobs. Some have lost their investments. Some simply want a new experience. Can she give us a framework to get back on a financial track that is sustainable? Letitia, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Bernard.
How are you doing?
Good.
I see you've been doing some reinvention. You took a bit of a hiatus from hosting the Farm Life show.
Yes.
And
there's been a lot of school and lots of work. For some reason, we're managing about 8 programs at the same time.
Wow. That's a lot.
So that with school and home, it's been a lot, but it's been good.
Do you agree with my premise that at least from mid-2022 to early 2023 has been a tough financial period? Because I've been feeling the financial pinch. A lot of people say they have, I don't know, you don't look like somebody who's, you look like you're okay, but just help to affirm my topic.
That I'm okay.
Yeah, I mean, you look like you're okay. You don't look like
that. I'm being
stressed
by.
You're managing 8 programs, so obviously you have a lot of money coming in.
You have money. It may not be what you're used to.
Yeah.
But of course, we're not in normal times.
At all.
So, and I think, yes, 2022, but it's like most people haven't recovered even from COVID. So then that just came to make it worse.
My God.
So sadly, that's the issue.
Yeah.
But we all go through these things. It's just been, unfortunately, rather consistent. And it's been like there's no break for most people. So you have to keep going. And then that becomes a bit difficult depending on who you are and what your circumstances are.
So how do you respond to the stress that we've seen? I know people who've left the country. A lot of people have left. They are just tired.
I hear people are even buying citizenship for
in
different countries for some ridiculous amounts of money that I think they can use it to set up businesses. But I think people have really just gotten tired. Yeah. I still think there's a lot of money to be made in the country at some point. It will shape itself out. But we're going through a process. It's a process. The way we've done it, or I have looked at it, because even though I work with, I have a co-founder, we create differently. So the way I've done it is that I've tried to understand first and foremost. Let me try 5 things that I do typically. Number 1 is that I try to understand my response to stress and threat. That was an eye-opener for me because I never used to do that before. What is my default response? Because you're always going to have a challenge, a seeming threat. How would you respond to it? It helps even when you're going through your recovery or your survival toolkit or recovery toolkit that you put together, because another one will come. Now, how do you deal with it? So for me, getting to know and understand your default response to stress or seeming threat is important. Now, there are 4 of them that we typically would talk about, and it is the fact that people would freeze, which is that you're stricken into inaction. Like there's no movement. You don't know what to do. You're stuck, and you need to learn to get out of that wheel. Then for some, they flee. They would run.
Flight.
That's like typical. That's like my default. I want to run away. But then I know you don't run. You have to fight it through, work it through. So you want to run. I want to resign. You need to stay and work it through. So then there's fight, which is where most of us want to be. But the fight too can be in 2 folds. You can fight negatively, so it depends on your intention, which we'll come to, and you can fight positively. You always want to be on the positive side. So how do I figure out how to get out of here in spite of all these seeming negativities or threats that are coming my way? And then there's a 4th one called fawn that we don't usually talk about.
It's called what?
Fawn, F-A-W-N. But it's typically people-pleasing.
Yes.
So I don't have, but I still have to give. Or so that I have to. So how do you get out of that space?
So there are 4 responses to stress and threat, which are all Fs. So you You freeze, which is do nothing. You run, which is flight. You fight, which can be negative or positive. And then you fawn, which is to try and please people.
Yeah. So you're trying to massage what is. And really, it's not necessary. Because we're all going through something. Everybody is going through something every day.
Yeah.
So you don't need, yes, we may not flaunt it, but you also do not have to show that there's nothing going on, everything is okay. If it's not okay, it's not okay. So don't go about trying to please people or give them a different picture. So no matter where you are in these four, you can bounce back.
Okay.
You can reset, you can recover. But it means you need to take certain decisions, and that's difficult. I think it's part of the most difficult bit to do, because I think psychologists claim we take about 35,000 decisions a day. Now, if you're going to do that, then you need to be in a good space. So for me, the second then becomes setting an intention. So you set an intention to be better, because I want my decisions to be better. I want them to be empowering. I don't want them to put me in a state of inactivity. So how do I do that? What do I do to make that happen? So first decide, just that singular decision to be better as a result or out of this experience is important, because then it opens a whole door, multiple doors of opportunities for you. And when you've done that, even in that period, you need to watch your language. I think some of the things we do easily, things like, hey, mewo, I'm finished.
Yeah.
You need to begin to
watch your language even within the period of the.
Because you've set an intention, but your whole language, your thought processes can go against you. So now begin to watch those. Know what you want at some point. So you have figured out what your current reality is, or maybe not in too much detail, but you want to figure out, what do I really want? Where do I want to go? What's the end game? Where am I now, and how do I close the gap? I know it's difficult when you've been hit by perhaps, and some have been multiple. So it's difficult. Nevertheless, I think everybody should cry a little. I don't think there's any shame in it. If you've been hit by something, you cry, mourn it, and then now use that power to move to your next level. So go through the motions and now decide, make some plans around it. And then the third would be to exercise your power of choice. This one is very important to me because we like to say things like, I don't have a choice. And we say it a lot without even thinking through it. You always have a choice. Always, always, always. I like something Viktor Frankl is being quoted to say. He's an Australian neurologist and psychologist. It says that between stimulus and response, there's a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom.
Wow.
So for you to grow, we've already looked at the space. What are we doing with the space? So you've set first you know yourself a little bit. You know how you respond to threats. You have decided that I'm going to set an intention to do better. Now, so that space, you've taken a certain decision. Now, from then, you're responding. You're moving to growth and freedom.
Before you get to response, I have a question. Typically, when bad things happen, some people, or when stressful situations occur, people ask why. And they also want to know whether it was my fault. So, for example, somebody invested in treasury bills whilst the other person went to buy stocks, and then maybe another person went to buy fixed income. Government is paying treasury bills, but then fixed income has been hit by the debt exchange. And the person is like, oh, Charlie, somebody told me not to buy this fixed income when I didn't listen. Or what's the difference between regret and pausing and reflecting on what caused? Is there any use in doing that? Right?
I think it's important, but it's important, but it's not one that you should be fixated on.
Okay.
I don't do regrets.
Okay.
I just do learnings.
Okay.
Because it's a learning. You knew what choices you were making, and you made them, right? So at that point, you may not have paused to see that, oh, these are my alternatives, these are my options. So you may not have done it in that moment, but you've still learned. That's why I say, whatever it is, just learn from it. So what's your learning? Now, when it comes to stocks and treasury bills and all of those investment tools, they fluctuate depending on what's happening in the economy. So yes, it's important to work with an expert ideally. I know people don't even want to hear them now, but some are still very good. We have wealth managers. At least have a conversation with them. Let them help you design your tools. And when they've done so, pay attention to the process. So it's not, sometimes we leave everything to chance and to the people that we've trusted things to, but monitor the process. So I wouldn't say that somebody did this and somebody did that and one was right over the other. If we had a different economic circumstances, it could flip.
Okay. I see. So yes, think through, but don't be over-fixated with the regret bit.
No, indecision, overwhelm. At the point you're doing regret, you're self-sabotaging.
Yeah.
And that won't help you.
Yeah.
So you're helping yourself to stay stuck in your process, your thinking, but you should move away from that.
And you say you always have a choice, so don't assume that you are stuck forever.
Yeah.
You don't regret, you only learn.
That's what I think.
Wonderful.
That's what I do. So like I said, there's no regret. You did it. It didn't go well. Okay. Now let's learn from it. I wouldn't say big deal because some of the monies are very huge.
So you talk about learning. So let's talk about learning. So I like what you say, that even in a mistake, there's learning. So what should we learn and how can we use that to chart a path out of this situation that we are in now?
So that's taking us to the fourth point. And the fourth point basically says that you learn to make the unfamiliar familiar. So hitherto, whether you're 26, 40, 50, whatever your age is, you're used to a certain pattern of thought, a certain pattern of lifestyle, a certain pattern of decision-making. But you're not in normal times. So you need to change that pattern. You need to pause to course correct if that's what you need. So find the patterns and now see, how do I change these patterns for myself? That's the part about making the unfamiliar familiar. So we're talking about learning. I think to do that, let's use the UNESCO 4 pillars of education, which is learn to know, learn to be, learn to live, and learn to be. So the second one is learn to do.
So learn to know,
yeah,
learn to do, learn to live, and then learn to be.
Yes.
Can you break this down?
Yes. So learn to know. There's things happening, and I think that a lot of the time we'll make a lot of assumptions. Yes, it's happened, but why did it happen? So the why is important. You need to know to learn. That becomes your springboard. So what decisions, what led me here? Now, what's happening in my environment? What's happening with me, my own thought processes? This is where, if you're a boss, if you're a parent, if you're wherever you are, if you're married, you need to also make sure that you're figuring out what's going on with all the people around you, because then you're responsible, or the decisions that you take, everybody has to be on board. So how do you now understand where they are and bring everybody onto a certain level play field for you to move and grow from? So you need to learn, or to know what's going on, what's going on in the financial market, what's going on the job market, what's going on with my own skills. Are they still relevant? Are they irrelevant? What contributed to my job loss? Was it, what is it? So you need to want to know and understand what are the places within the environment today that I can possibly take advantage of? What do I leverage in this moment? There's always something. So this is a good time to do some research and to understand what to do better. If you have your resources, how much money do I have left? Even if it's 100 cedis, it's something that you have. But what do I have? How do I stretch these resources? What must I do? if I need to take me through to 3 months, 6 months, is it enough? If my child is still in school, in second term of school, meanwhile I have second term, third term fees to pay, would it be enough? What do I do? So these are the times to ask yourself difficult questions and to find solutions. In the what do I do, a lot of answers begin to come to you. List all of them down. Just list them down and find out which is your best next step.
Okay.
Take that best next step, knowing very well that there are going to be pluses and minuses to those next steps. Be ready to take the responsibility for that decision that you're taking. So that's important to know. So learn to know. Know what's going on. Know what you can take advantage of. Know what your even spending patterns are. Because you're going to have to begin to undo or unlearn some of those things. So learn to do. Now you want to relearn the new skills that are coming up. AI is here today. Trying to even understand it. I remember instead of learning, I was trying to understand this whole AI thing. The impact on businesses, how you can even use it to help you as a person, as a business. So you need to learn to do something. So what is that thing that you need to learn to do? What do you like to do best? What are you best suited for? Get a new skill.
Okay.
People are doing amazing things with baking today. It's amazing. Like there's simple things you may not think about. Simple things like hair. There's so much. So think through your own life, what some of your needs are, what some of your friends' needs are. What can you learn very quickly? I have a sister-in-law who learned to sew. And the incredible thing she does today, she was selling clothing while she was still learning. It's possible because there are people in those spaces who are also learning, but they don't have that entrepreneurial mindset. So she, having that entrepreneurial mindset, said, okay, you guys are ahead of me in this skill, but I have access to people I can sell to. So let me take the orders. Let me share. Let's split the whatever the profits are. And that's how she started her business.
You know what's funny? Most of the times when people say learn, they want to go back to school. But what you're saying, you can even go and learn a course in how to do cakes.
Yes.
Or how to design flowers, or how to do room decoration.
Even this juicing that we are all doing today. But at least learn the health, the nutritional impacts of it. So you're not just doing it.
So it's not a default, go and do a master's degree or something. There's more to learning new skills, but particularly in this economy, than simply going to do an MBA.
No, because that's locking up your capital. But you want to use that money to be making money. So you don't want to lock the capital.
So you want a skill that you can easily...
Exactly. Then you can go and use that money to do your schooling when you've got it. But right now, you want to rebuild. So it's not a time to say I'm going into like real estate unless you have a whole bunch of money to go and do that, because that's locking up your capital and you don't want to do that.
So new skills, new ways of doing things.
New skills, new ways of doing things.
Wonderful.
It's important.
So this is the second.
Learn to do. That's the second under the fourth pillar of making the unfamiliar familiar.
Good.
Then
the third
you
one
learn
is
to live again.
Learn to live again.
And this will spend a little time here because this is where you're managing your cash flow. So we've already talked about the fact that you need to know how much you have. You need to know how you can stretch it over a period. That you should learn a new skill. Now we're going to think about our cash flow. So where your money comes from and where it goes to. I want to start with spending because that's where we can cut a lot. You either cut your expenses or you grow your income. So when you're in dire straits, yes, you want to grow your income, but first you want to begin to cut back on your expenses a little bit so that you can free up some money for later. So focus on basic needs. Let's take food, for example. And I think people should eat well, because it has serious health implications. And I don't mean eat, like now most people are doing these intermittent fasting and everything in between.
Keto,
but
are doing
so I'm not saying kill yourself. All I'm saying is that Make sure that you're incorporating healthy eating habits because it has impact on your health. For you to do this, you need to be healthy. So pay attention. But there's little things you can do. You know, I started doing a lot of like just observing things. There are a lot of things that grow in our backyard without us thinking, without us watching them, that has so many health benefits, and we don't even see them. Like dandelions, like boko boko, water lilies,
Kontomire,
the bitter leaves. There's a house not too far from mine. She has like a whole tree of it. And, you know, there are cultures that use that for the kontomire stew, right? Yes. I haven't learned how to do it without the bitterness. But you can learn to do it. And it's there, it's free. Yeah. So I don't even see why we cannot use some of those things in our meals. Grow some of the things that you eat. Yeah. I love spinach a lot. So I have pots in the house that we grow spinach in. Wow. And then, because I use them so many times in a week, so I make my own spinach. Then it's organic. I don't have to go and worry about whether it's not organic or not. The water lilies, they're everywhere, so I literally pluck them. And then I use them. I consciously replant them so I can have more. So whatever it is that you can make or grow in your backyard, do it. I haven't had the luck or patience with things like the tomatoes and peppers.
Takes too long.
I think I did well during the COVID because we were home and I could tend to it, but I'm not doing a good job with that. But at least grow some of the things you eat.
Eat what you grow what you eat.
Yeah, grow some.
And it will save you money. It will save you money. It's also healthier.
It saves you a lot of money, and yes, it is very healthy. So your health bill is lower, and you don't have to worry too much.
So dandelion salad, we'll try it. Just get the dandelion behind your house and squeeze some.
And they're just there.
Enjoy yourself in your own
some
house.
Salt to wash it and eat.
You are just fine. It's healthy too. So learn to live practical ways of realigning your finances.
The other thing is buy in bulk.
Buying bulk, yeah.
Buying in bulk cuts across everything. If you don't have the money to buy in bulk, you can come together with a few friends. So you can get the wholesale prices, and then you share it. So everybody has your list. You've come together, you buy it. Now get one of your support systems or yourselves. Just split it according to what everybody's needs are. When you do that, you can manage your money easily because for 3 months you probably haven't purchased anything. So you're not worrying too much about, I have to buy this, and the price moved from 2 cedis to 3 in just a month. So you're stabilizing your finances a little bit. So buy in bulk. Try very hard if you can and do so. One of the other things is reduce wastage. Food in particular. We boil rice, we leave it, it goes off. But you boil white rice today, you can turn it into any other rice tomorrow. It could be fried rice. It could be anything. Just become creative with the food that you make. So you don't have to throw them away. You can change it into something edible and then enjoy it with your family. So let's stop throwing food away. Simple things like the water we drink, the sachet water. If your situation is really, really bad, boil water, bottle it and drink. Otherwise, if it's not bad and you're still doing the sachet waters, get people bottles at home. Like water bottles, so they can pour it into it and keep drinking.
Yeah, I actually noticed we spend a lot of money on water because most people now don't drink tap water.
Yes,
so they will either buy the refill or the sachet or the bottle, and it moves very fast.
It does.
And usually the worst one is the sachet where they drink and leave. So, so I think for me, what works for me is the refill.
The refill, okay.
Because and everybody has a bottle with your name on it,
which is the thing.
So if you fetch your thing, if it's not finished, if you use the cup, they just leave it.
Exactly. So you need the bottles. It's important.
Yes, label the bottle so you know that this is my bottle. I can drink the water later.
See, so I'm not the only one who
no,
does.
Yes, it's not. You have to. Yeah.
So it helps because we waste a lot of water, especially that sachet water. It's unbelievable.
It moves so quickly.
Yeah.
Yes.
So if we can do that and stop some of the wastage, will be great.
Okay.
So what do you do? How do you begin this? Go through your house. Just do a walk through your house. What are you spending money on? Go around the house inside and then start doing little things that can support you to cut back on those.
Wonderful.
We're looking at shelter. One of the things with shelter is rent. The way we pay rent in this country, for example, is difficult for people, especially young people who want to move out of home. They've started work. To go and pay 2 years' rent is difficult. So there are empty houses in Accra, too many empty houses in Accra. You may know 1 or 2 people who own it. The problem is some don't want to give it out because they trash it.
You destroy the house for them.
Now, you may want to have some of those conversations and decide what you can do, because for some people, you may not be able to have money to afford rent right now. So find somebody, and you know somebody. Go through your phone. You find somebody who has an empty house somewhere. It may not be fully completed, but what you will need to complete it, to move in, will be cheaper than a 2-year rent. So have some conversations and then begin to now save towards your own. Either you're buying, you're renting, start saving towards it, but always create a win-win. So I'm coming into your house. What would I do? Am I going to clean? What's my responsibility? And do something so that people will all be kind to give away.
I mean, this is great. We have just 4 minutes to go now. So you've put it all together. We're talking to Letitia Hinefa about basically resetting your finances, but she's using a very practical approach. And this UNESCO framework is really great. Learn to know, learn to do, learn to live. So we can wrap up with learn to be.
So learning to be is essentially, but before that, though, you need to make money. So people have to find jobs.
Of course.
Or create your own so you make money before we move on. So the learn to be is to say that, okay, this is where I am. I've accepted my reality. I have some plans. Be gentle with yourself. When you hit a roadblock, just tap yourself on your back. Just keep moving. Say sorry. You hit yourself and move on. There's no problem there. Then the 5th one is basically promise yourself that every single day you do one simple little thing to move you towards your goal. No matter how little it is, just do it. One simple little thing. Find an accountability partner. It's important in these times, and do it.
Wow. This is interesting. I was thinking you're going to give me like some equations and graphs and things, but it's actually very practical and very simple.
Ones to
the financial analyst.
The Paul Mantes.
They are doing
I don't do those ones. No,
but this is great, honestly. Yeah. So, in summary, you're basically saying, understand how you respond to stress. Whether you fly away, you fight, you fawn, or you freeze. Know that you have to pause and reflect. Yeah. Number 2, you have agency. So don't say, I don't have a choice. Yeah. All right. And then once you know you have agency, you make a decision.
Absolutely.
Make a decision. And then one of the key hooks you said, I don't do regrets, I do learning, which segues us into the 4 learnings. Learn to make them familiar. So learn to know what happened, what went wrong. Learn to do new skills, new opportunities. Learn to live, a new way of living. And then learn to be. Wow, this is like a mini MBA. Amazing. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you for making it so simple. Thank you for making it so simple. And I'm sure we'll see the reinvented you too soon.
Thank you very much.
You are doing your own reinvention.
Yeah, Samu, aren't we all?
Amazing stuff. That was Letitia Hinefa, co-founder of Lead Afrique and also a real friend of the station, speaking to us in this first Friday. Every Friday we'll be talking about how to recover financially from the challenge of last year. We'll be with you next time. Bye-bye.
The biggest business festival in Ghana is on.
Mark your calendars this June as we bring you the Citi Business Festival 2023. The running theme for this year's festival is Make It Ghana. It's going to be a month-long conversation on how to grow, improve, and expand your business with seasoned industry experts. Join the weekly business forum every Tuesday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. live on Citi TV for discussions on various thematic areas each week, beginning with Week 1, Reimagining the Digital Economy. Week 2, Building Resilient SME Brands. Week 3, the changing phase of the Ghanaian retail market. And Week 4, Understanding and Leveraging Agribusiness Value Chains. Also, tune in every weekday at 9:05 a.m. for the Citi Business Festival On Air series on the Citi Breakfast Show on 97.3 Citi FM to acquire the information you need to kickstart and strengthen your business. There will be a lesson for every business on the Citi Business Festival 2023 this June, only on Citi TV, 97.3 Citi FM, citibusinessnews.com, and on CNR Digital. The Citi Business Festival 2023 is powered by Citi TV and Citi FM and is proudly sponsored by MTN.
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CitiCBS.
Gabby Ofeya with a Friday edition of Kickoff, proudly brought to you by Shell and Leshego. Coming up, Midiama could be champions of the Ghana Premier League for the first time in the club's history, build up to the weekend's fixtures. Also, Ghana's Black Meteors will depart to Egypt on Monday ahead of the U23 AFCON, which kicks off in Morocco in some few days. Then in Europe, it's the final of the UEFA Champions League in Istanbul, Manchester City v Inter Milan at 7 p.m. on Saturday. All right, we start off with some national team updates where Black Stars attackers Kamaldeen Sulemana, Ernest Nyoma, and Ransford Yeboah Collins-Dorfer have been selected for the Black Meteor squad ahead of the U23 AFCON in Morocco. Now, after playing in the African Cup of Nations qualifier against Madagascar on June 18, these three players will join the Black Meteors team, while coach Ibrahim Tanko has also included Daniel Fiyobanye, Fatai Sako in the provisional squad for the tournament, which takes place from June 24 to July 8, 2023. The Meteors will depart from Accra on Monday, 12 June, for a 2-week camp in Cairo, where they'll have friendly matches to prepare for that competition. Away from that, let's head to the Premier League, the Betpower Premier League, of course. Final round of matches coming up this weekend. Midiama Sporting Club, they take on Tamale City. Brekum Chelsea up against Accra Heartful. Kotoko welcome Dreams FC to the Barbara Sports Stadium. Mediana Stars up against Bichem United. RTU take on Ken Faisal. Legon Titis v Samatex. Then Viviane Gold Stars will play Accra Lions. Great Olympics are up against the Swartchaman. Then Kotoku Royals wrap it up with Karela United in the final weekend matches coming up in the Betpower Premier League. Well, let's stay with the GPL board chairman for Midiama Sporting Club, Dr. Tony Elben. He's advised the team to avoid complacency as they head into the final clash against Tamale City at the Akum Park, where the Yellow and Moves could be crowned champions for the first time in the club's history with a win or draw against the Tamale Bay side in a match week 34 fixture.
Thanks and congrats to Coach Evans for stabilizing the front of the team. But I must quickly say that we are close to getting the trophy. We are very sure we will get it, but we always also want to caution that we have, it's not automatic. If we don't win and Bichem United they win, it would be a different story. So much as we are very hopeful of winning, we are cautious not being complacent. We are very mindful so that we don't become complacent. That we need, we have won it already. We need to win or at worst draw to lift the trophy, and this is what our focus is at the moment.
All right, so that's the board chairman for Midiama Sporting Club, Dr. Tony Elben, speaking to City Sports there. So Midiama top the table with 57 points. Now let's head to Europe, where Argentine World Cup winner Alexis McAllister says he's excited to show off his versatile skills to Liverpool fans at Anfield after becoming the team's first signing of the summer transfer window. Now he joined the Reds on a long-term deal from Brighton, where he made 112 appearances, scoring 20 goals, and he's won the World Cup with Argentina back in December. Now, Alexis McAllister makes the move to Anfield for what is understood to be an initial fee of around £35 million. Sources suggest it could rise to £55 million.
It feels amazing. It's a dream come true. It's amazing to be here. Can't wait to get started. I'm sure this team will give everything to win trophies and make them happy. That's the most important thing. I hope they stick behind me and behind the team, and I know they will do it. So it's a pleasure to be here at this club, and I will do my best every single day.
All right, so that's Liverpool's first summer signing, Alexis McAllister, speaking there. Well, to the camp of Spurs, and that former manager Harry Redknapp says he doesn't think Harry Kane will leave the North London club. The England striker, he's been linked with Manchester United and Madrid as potential replacement for Karim Benzema, but Redknapp believes Kane will be at Spurs next season, working with new manager Ange Postecoglou.
I think he's a cert to stay. That's my opinion. I don't see him going. Man City are not there anymore. They got Haaland. Where's he going to go that is better than Tottenham, really? Not easy, is it? He's not going to go to Arsenal. He ain't going to go to Chelsea. Man United, obviously a great club, but Tottenham as well, another big club. 60, what a stadium. Maybe the best football stadium in the world. Great training facilities. I think he's sure to stay, and I think he'll be looking for him to bring a few players in, as I say, to strengthen the team. If they do that again, they can be bang there next year.
All right, so that's former Spurs manager Harry Redknapp speaking there. So we'll see where Kane will end up the new season. Well, the big one is tomorrow. Manchester City, they face Inter Milan in the Champions League final in Istanbul at the Atatürk Olympic Stadium. Kickoff time is at 7 p.m. The citizens, they are hoping to win the Champions League for the very first time and complete the treble this season. Let's hear it from Manchester City boss Pep Guardiola on facing Inter on Saturday night.
They have done really well in the last years with the shape. But it's not just how good they defend, it's how good they are with the ball, with the transition after link with the strikers. And especially they have a real good process, especially start from Onana. This is an exceptional keeper with the build-up, one of the best right now in the world, and that makes so difficult our high pressing because you cannot press all the players are on the pitch, and really good team now that we know them quite well because we saw as much games as possible. I understand completely the reason why they are there.
All right, so that's Manchester City boss Pep Guardiola speaking there. Wrapping up with some tennis updates from the French Open. World number 3 Novak Djokovic will face off with Spain's Carlos Alcaraz, who currently ranks number 1 in the men's singles. The two will go at each other at 12:45 p.m. Later, at 3:30 p.m., Kasparov will take on Alexander Zverev in the second semi-finals of the French Open. More updates on Sports Flash at 5 p.m. In the meantime, you can head to citysportsonline.com for more sports stories. My name is Gabby Ofe. Have a lovely Friday. Take care and bye-bye.
If you need unique services, innovative financial solutions, we deliver on our promise, cause we are number 1. Let's go, we improve your life. Let's go, hey mama, hey mama, hey mama. Even when you're stuck with nothing, come to let's go. No matter your situation, come to let's go. Let's go, we improve your life. Let's go, hey.
Eshego Savings and Loans. Let's improve life.
Rehabilitation of roads in the Kumewu constituency started weeks before the by-election in the area, although the government denied the intervention was because of votes. Rumors of contractors packing out of the site went viral on social media after the elections. Work is ongoing on roads in communities within the Setre Kumewu district, and some areas have been asphalted. The roads minister led some officials and engineers from the ministry to inspect ongoing works and insist the government will complete the project.
There were a lot of doubting Thomases. There were a lot of rumors going around that we had come here because of by-election. We had started the road development. You have followed me, and you have seen the massive work going on and all the additions being made, even after the by-elections. And you saw the many machines, on the road and on site. Even many more are being added. The contractor has even increased the number of his gangs from 4 to 6. So the work is being intensified. And I want to assure the people of Kumewu that they should close their ears to what people are saying. People could sit in Accra or sit anywhere and carry on with whatever propaganda they want to undertake.
He assures roads in parts of the country will be done and also stressed that the government is committed to giving a facelift to roads in the Asin North constituency.
Any road work going on anywhere will continue, and in the next few weeks, coming weeks, the people of this country are going to see what is in the offering yet to come. And as usual, they are going around saying that roadworks are going on in Asin North because of by-election. They should go, they should learn, they should read, they should seek for information, they should come out of ignorance and see what is going on. They should know when those contracts were awarded. Some of the projects have even been completed.
The Member of Parliament for the area, Ernest Yao Enim, believes the government will not let down the people of Kumewu.
The contractor has 14 months to complete all the projects within the Kumewu township and the constituency, and already we are 7 weeks into the construction period, and for us we believe that the contractor has exceeded expectations.
The chief of the area wants the roads ministry to give all support needed to enable the contractor to deliver. Work is ongoing to give a facelift to roads within communities in the Setre Kumewu district, and the Minister for Roads and Highways is assuring the government will fulfill the promise it made to the people. Hafiz Tijani, Citi News, Kumewu, Ashanti region.
The government has been actively seeking solutions to address the ongoing dispute with members of the Pensioner Bondholders Forum who have been protesting at the Finance Ministry, demanding the payment of coupons and principals. After days of picketing, the pensioners agreed to a meeting with the Finance Ministry to discuss the issue of interest payment on the outstanding principals. During the meeting, which took place on Thursday, the Finance Ministry, represented by Deputy Minister of Finance Abena Osei Asare, was unable to persuade the pensioner bondholders to forego their demand for interest. Dr. Edouard Nanientwi, the convener for the Pensioner Bondholders Forum, addressed the press following the meeting.
We are asking for payment of interest. Government say it cannot do that. It can't pay the interest. We have said that if government is not going to do that, we still want it to be done. And so in that case, we will need an arbiter. So we have suggested that we will submit the matter to SHRAG for SHRAG to go into and tell us whether we have the right to take to demand the interest or not. So we have decided that we will do an official letter to government demanding the interest payment on the delay coupons. and government is going to respond. Delayed principal. We are going to send a letter, official letter, on the demand for interest on the delayed principals. And then we know the response of the government, but the government will also put it in writing. When we get this, then we see where we are going to take the matter. And we have already said that perhaps the first place we will go is Shrag.
The government proposed to buy the bonds of the pensioner bondholders at market value, but the group has resolved to reject the offer, insisting they will only accept principals along with the accrued interest.
Government is suggesting that they want to make a proposal, and the proposal is to buy you at market or to convert your maturity values into treasury bills. We have suggested to government that if you want a proposal that will be accepted, do the proposal on principal plus accrued interest. That you will get some successful, you will get some level of success. Principal plus accrued interest, because that is the amount you owe people. If you owe me that amount and you don't want to owe me again, pay me what you owe me. And what you owe me is my principal and the interest. You don't owe me the market. I haven't said I want to sell for me to go to the market. You say you want to buy me out, so pay me this. We have suggested that to them. But the government is saying it's going to make these two proposals. I say, well, bring your proposal. If you bring market or treasury bill and people will accept, that's their personal interest, their personal decision. But for us, we have advised government, if we want to make that proposal, it should be at principal plus interest, just as that was done when they were doing the conversion. When we were doing the DDEP, it is your principal plus accumulated interest, which was converted into the new bonds. So why are you now saying it's difficult for you to convert that?
Prior to the Thursday meeting, the Finance Ministry had assured the pensioners that the outstanding coupons would be settled starting from June 5, but they failed to fulfill this promise. As a result, the pensioners have chosen to resume picketing to demand payment.
Then the second one that we also discussed was that they were supposed to pay the coupons that were due up to 29th. At last week's meeting, it was to be immediate. So we have expected the coupons to be paid by this time. We haven't received any alert. The Deputy Minister says, but the Bank of Ghana has told them that they have sent money to the banks for the banks to credit their accounts. But we haven't seen any crediting from the banks. So once no alert has been received, we are going to continue with our picketing. If by the time we leave here, we see alert that the amount is being paid, we won't come tomorrow. If we don't see anything alert system working today, we will come again Friday.
So government was unable to find an agreement with the Pensioner Bondholders Forum at a meeting earlier today. The pensioners, they've been asking for government to pay interest on about 4 outstanding principals. But government says that there's no money and that it cannot afford to pay interest on these outstanding principals. Now, the pensioners, they are insisting that there's no free money in the capital markets. And so if you keep someone's principals for over 4 months, you must pay interest. They are taking up this matter with STRAJ, the Commission on Human Rights and Administrative Justice, to determine if they have the right to demand for these interest on the principals. Originally, they were not scheduled to picket today because government had promised that it would pay some 5 outstanding coupons, but as it stands, we've been told that they've not received any alerts to that effect, and so they chose to resume their picketing from today. They say that if by tomorrow they have not received any alerts, they are going to picket again tomorrow. My name is Charles Osukumi. I've been reporting for Citi News from the Finance Ministry.
During proceedings on Thursday, the Speaker of Parliament, Alban Bagbin, demanded clarity from the Supreme Court on its directive to Parliament to expunge the name of the then Member of Parliament for Asen North, James Jachi-Kwesen, from its records.
And what has just happened is strong evidence that there is a need for clarification. Don't forget that the order is predicated.
And you heard Kickoff. Kickoff brought to us by Shell. And everybody's looking for that one thing that pushes them to bring out their best and enables them to reach peak performance. Your car wants the same thing. That is why you need to give it Shell Helix engine oil lubricant Munko, specially designed to bring out the best in your engine and protect it from wear and tear while providing the power and performance needed to give you the best ride every time. Visit your local Shell station today and experience the difference for yourself. Kickoff was also brought to us by Lecheho. Lecheho's fixed deposit account is a favorite among a lot of people. They've been doing that for 10 years. And they give you great competitive returns. You can get flexible deposit products for 91 days, 182 days, 365 days. Call Lecheho on 0577 707 700. And let's achieve your goals together. Lecheho Savings and Loans, a trusted haven for your investment. Lecheho, let's improve lives. Now, Father's Day will soon be upon us. And you need to get your father or father figure a great gift just to say thank you, just to appreciate them. Talk to the good people of Caveman Watches. They have a curated Father's Day package that will give you great things. There's a nice, stunning watch in there. They also have Caveman cufflinks, styling shirts, grooming kits, handwritten cards, and many more items to make this Father's Day truly special. From packages starting at 2,000 cedis and upwards, there's a perfect option for every budget. Call 0557 516 744 or visit cavemanwatches.com. Caveman Watches, be remembered. Now, if you are looking for the best value, data, and voice offers, look no further. Vodafone has what you need. Just dial *530# and get onto any of their Vodafone Made For Me bundles. For as little as 1 CD, Vodafone Made For Me has got just what you need. Vodafone, further together. And FBN Bank is inviting you, our female entrepreneurs and professionals, to sign up for the first GEM account designed for women aged 18 and above. Do you prefer a personal savings or client's first GEM account? Or you are looking to open a first GEM entrepreneur account? Either way, we've got you covered. Speak to FBN Bank on 0596 921 921 or visit their website fbnbankghana.com. FBN Bank, you first. Few birthdays coming in. Happy birthday to Charlotte Aristego of the ENT department of the Kolebu Teaching Hospital. That's from Joanna Aristego. This one says, I want to wish my lovely husband, Ejona Francis Mensah, a happy birthday. I don't know, Ejona Francis Mensah.
Of GBC Online.
Okay.
Of Adafienu.
Okay.
Ejona of Parliament House. Yeah, if it is a Jenna Francis Mensah that I know, then hey, bro, Charlie.
Okay, so the message, I want to wish my husband, Ejona Francis Mensah, and my son, Aram Prince Mensah, happy birthday. This is coming from Enam Ruby Adachi Mensah. I see. This was a special birthday to Reverend Dr. Ebenezer Makwe, head pastor of the Living Streams International, from his very good friend, the Cardinal Reverend Cephas Haywood Amati. Says, enjoy your day and celebrate in style. And this one says, happy birthday to Queen Flora Lawson of Esinam's Special Beans in Ashalibuche.
Okay.
May God bless you abundantly. My Gobe plug. That's from Mamle. And this one also says, happy birthday to Felicity S.C. Gundona from Osei and the rest of the siblings.
Wow. Is that a Man City player?
Not Gundogan.
Or it's some ever name you did put up like that.
I read it as I see it.
Okay. Okay, so let me do this one for someone special. It says, happy birthday to the one and only Nana Efua Oko, tax manager at Goodfields, Ghana Limited, from the whole Mensa clan in Ashoman, Dansoman, and Takoradi. They are celebrating you this very morning, and they want you to continue to be influential in your space and beyond. This one says that nothing lights up my world than your beautiful smile, Adriana. I admire the strong, independent woman you have become. May God continue to protect you in all your endeavors. When you smile, I smile. Happy birthday, Adriana Tetefio of the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. It's coming in from your mom, Regina Bote, inside the office of Parliament here in Accra. So Regina is sending this one out to Adriana, and Adriana will celebrate you this morning. And this one also says that, okay, it's actually going to...
Hide your face, hide my face, make another man picking on my race. I love you, no mean say, if you say make I put one hand for fire, 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 burn. I go put one for fire. You know mean say, if you say make I put one leg for fire, 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 burn. I go put leg for fire. Give me love, make a love. There's no other one above. Dance, make a dance. Make a love. There's no one above. Shukura kilo kosio. Yeah. Shuku sheka. Aya shumeka. Yeah. Caroline, save your drama. I don't need it. For a soap opera. Hola, hola, Mr. Olopa. I'm not here to cause wahala. Hello, diva, save your drama.
A few more birthdays coming in. Happy birthday to Vida Sikado. May the joy that you have spread in the past come back to you this day with abundant happiness and love. That's coming in from Abigail, and I think the name is Echa, I think. Yeah.
And this one is going out to Matilda Setuchi Frimpong, who is all the way in Geneva. And
as the French say Genève.
Genève, yeah, the French people say Genève. Yeah, you are a great young woman, doing great things in the area of trade and international relations, moving from the local institution responsible for trade and related matters, and going on to Geneva, as you said, to doing great things there. Yeah, your mother is so proud of you, and send up your mom says we should celebrate you ahead of Sunday, your birthday, and myself, I'm extending my well wishes to you so that you continue to do what you're doing in the international space, become a powerful woman globally, and be globally respected as well. So happy birthday, Setuchi, ahead of Sunday. This one says that Emmanuel Amuzu, good morning. Please wish my daughter Seiram Janelle Amuzu Nyami happy birthday. She's 4 years today. She's of the Lord Pentecostal School. Wish her more wisdom and God's blessings. Is coming in from the father, mother, and brother Sedem and Selam. And they say they love you so much. This one says, Bernard, please wish my daughter Blibo Helsa. This one.
Jackson.
Hey, Yahuwah. Jackson. Kafui. Yahuwah. A happy, glorious birthday. She's 2 years. May she grow up to be happy. Everything that she wants in life should be achieved in a positive way. And may all her beautiful and godly heart desires come to pass. It's coming in from the mother and the father, Mr. and Mrs. Blibo, and your siblings. This one is coming in from Ohene Afrani, all the way in Finland. It says, good morning, Nathan. I want to congratulate the latest parents in town, Mr. and Mrs. Foku, who are 2020 caravanized. Hey, Charlie brothers, they went on the caravan, they were taking things on our behalf. Hey, Charlie, we have to pass a law to prescribe that too. After numerous attempts, God has blessed them with a beautiful baby girl. Oh,
congrats to them. The Lord is good.
No, Charlie. They should name her City. The City Foku. We can't thank the Lord enough for this great gift. And this one from Seth in Kufuodia says, hello, City. Please wish my lovely wife, Mrs. Francisca Braco, a blessed happy birthday. You are a true definition and reflection of behind a very successful man, there's a woman. God bless you, my love. And this one says, it's coming in from Joyce Apia in Washington, Zenu. I said, good morning, team, CTCBS. I want to wish Mrs. Florence Doe, the headmistress of Ashaiman Bethel AMA Zion, a happy birthday. And to myself, Joyce Apia, I say, may God continue to bless us. And this one says that I would like to wish Mrs. or as Miss Eunice Mami Say, formerly of Goldman Capital in Takwa, a blissful birthday in advance, which is tomorrow. Experience the best returns in every endeavor, from Michael Bremfi, Assistant Registrar at the University of Mines and Technology in Takwa. And finally, this one says, Nathan, please, I beg you, allow Sky to read this. Charlie.
Okay, so let's read the message. As for the caveats.
Okay. You love me with my imperfections. Hey, Charlie. You share with me your everything. You inspire the best within me. As you hit another milestone of blessings today, may your beautiful life last its teens. What does that mean? Oh, how I rejoice with you, my wife of youth. As the loving hand, the pleasant row. Hey, Charlie. No.
Okay, so just read who it is from.
Because where they go with Charlie, some of the things he's describing this early morning, Charlie, somewhere.
This one is from Nana Sam. His beautiful wife.
Charlie, Nana Sam, tell your beautiful wife these things in the quiet of your home, because Charlie, where the teen reach, Charlie. But the point is that Nana Sam is celebrating the wife. It's a happy birthday, sweetness, Charlie. Something satisfying you this early morning.
This one says, belated birthday to Awentrim Akanlo Amara, aka Triple A, aka Blue, aka Kanlo Siki, I think. The message is coming from your aunt, Grandma Kuku Nana Joa Baby K. All right.
Shukura kilo kosio, shuku sheka, ayashu meka, yeah. Caroline save your drama. I don't need it for a soap opera. Hola, hola, Mr. Olopa. I'm not here to cause wahala. Hello, diva, save your drama. You don't need me in your soap opera. Yeah, you for there for me.
Happy birthday to Azasu Mauku, who is working at the Agotimas Yofe District Health Directorate. You guys are doing fantastic work there along the whole Denu Highway. And may the Lord God continue to bless you, my brother. And I wish you all the very best in what you're doing for the health service in that part of the country. Akbar.
I need you to play me there when you are done. Since today it looks like we're going to play a lot of music. Nathan has started with Uyala.
But the music is bad.
You like music, Masa. If you like your music.
Yeah,
when Nathan hosts the show, you can immediately tell. The music, he's very hands-on with the music.
Yes.
He will leave it to the other people to decide. But you started with Wiala today, and got me thinking. Like 3 years ago, myself, Kwame Dazi, then Delali Adogla Besan, we're having a conversation in the online unit, Mauli Chikata, about like which Ghanaian musician would blow globally. And like we're just having a really silly conversation about awards, And we're having a really silly conversation about awards, really. And everybody was supposed to pick an artist who would win a Grammy.
Yeah.
And my choice,
artist
who would win a
eventually
Grammy,
yes.
At the time. I don't know who Maoli chose, but I think Kwame and Dela had different choices. I said Wiala would win us our first Grammy. And there was a lot of laughter about it. Well, not in a very bad way, but everybody was like, but this person doesn't do very commercial music. She does critically acclaimed music.
Yes.
It's not, some of her songs do become popular, but she's an artist. Like she does the music for the music's purpose, And so I was like, yeah. And it got me thinking, like, why did I choose her and not the other ones, But she's always fascinated me, And there was a day I think Fento that came on and spoke about his relationship with Wiyala. Apparently they went to the same school.
They went to the same
they were
school.
schoolmates.
I see.
Yeah, they were schoolmates at Pansek.
Noella Wiyala.
Yeah. She hasn't been called Noella Wiyala in a long time. When she was called Noella Wiyala, she was doing
Black Stars.
Black and Peach.
Black and Peach.
That was that music thing that they were, music reality show thing that they were doing.
Okay.
Back in the day, Charlie, she contests the thing, I know, but later on, I think when she contested by herself, then the thing would be. But when she joined the Black and Peach, I think they won 2012 or 2013. I stand to be corrected. And then they won the Vodafone Icons thing,
And then it took off.
And they took off from that. No, I think a year after she just went solo. So the Black and Peach now, in fact, but she's the
she's
last woman standing.
Yeah, she's
the last woman standing. But
she's truly global in terms of how she characterizes her music. I of course, I mean, you when you listen to her, you hear something close to Angelique Kidjo. In terms of how she will pitch the song, the very traditional nature of the language, she doesn't want to go the way we do our things these days, trying to, she keeps it traditional. Is it Funsi that she sings in?
Yes, she sings in other languages, but she keeps it very local, and then she mixes it up when need be. Yeah. Her whole performance is really like well
truly
thought through.
African and
well thought through. But for me, it was like just what got me thinking this one as you were playing this. It was like, so what happened to all these like music shows and stuff, Charlie? Because I know Wiyala came from one of those, right?
Yes.
Kiddy's from one of those music shows, right?
The one I remember very well was
Kwame Eugene also.
Yes, that was from the MTN one. Kwame Eugene came from the MTN Hitmaker.
Okay.
And then before all of that,
Irene and
Stars of the Future.
That was who?
Adina also came from Stars of the Future.
Oh, Adina also did?
Yes, she won her year. She won.
Oh,
I remember so well. She
okay.
won. And then before all of that, you had the Nescafe. I've forgotten the name of the show.
Do you know?
Pryor came from that one. Pryor won.
Really?
Yes. And the group that came second.
Pryor won Nescafe?
Yes. Wuta was second that year.
Wuta.
So that what happened to all? No, then we've really like actually had.
Becca also took part in one of them things.
Yeah,
Mentor.
Yeah, I've seen. I remember that one. She went out. There was a lot of controversy with that one.
That she took part.
Yeah.
She took part.
And are they still there? Like I mean, not the artists, of course, the artists.
Some of the shows still exist. I think Mentor ran for a while. I think they still do.
No, it's still on.
It's still on. So,
it's still on. But Stars of the Future is gone.
Yes.
All these ones are gone. But they've been incredible platforms, incredible launch pads for some incredible
acts to emerge.
Acts to emerge. And it's not just here. Like if you look at Nigeria, I remember Timi Dakolo.
Everything you put your hands
go work. Yeah, he won one of those. I think he won one of the competitions in Nigeria as well. Yeah, and then is it Lekon or Mayokun? One of them also comes from that background in Nigeria. So like there have been launch pads. Even I think Tiwa Savage came from Voice Factory UK, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I think she was in the semi-finals or so. Libyanka,
I see,
was in the US. She did, yeah.
Yeah.
She was in the semi-finals as
some
well.
Some of the names I can remember: Ruben Studdard won Popeye.
I'm not even I'm dealing with just the Ghanaian,
okay,
the
yes,
African.
just the African, okay.
You know, I'm dealing with just the
Music
African music space. So these shows have kind of, but I still see the one in Nigeria. It's ongoing. I still see the one in SA. There are quite a few ongoing in SA. In Ghana, I think. Right. We used to have a lot, but now we have like Voice Factory.
Factory.
And then we have Mentor at TV3, and then I think that's it. But I remember for like a 5 or 6 year period, everybody had one of those.
Exactly.
Everybody had one of these things, and it was incredible. Anyway, so ours is back, Voice Factory.
Yes, season 5.
Season 5.
Yes.
Who won the last one?
The last one, what's her name? Araba.
Oh,
Araba,
she's a gospel artist.
Yes, she did a lot more.
No, she's very gospel.
Yes,
she's
in school in the UK or something.
Yes, I think she's in school. She's in school.
And I remember the first one was won by, I think the name was Chris. These days I see him.
He's with Lynx now.
No, I don't know. I don't think he's with Lynx. I think
no, that's a Chris with Lynx.
Yes.
Really? I think it's the name. A very handsome young man at the time.
So the music show I was trying to remember was the Nescafe.
Look, very,
was the Nescafe African Revelation. That's
in
the show I was trying to remember.
Now, if my memory serves me. The last time I saw him, he was doing something on Instagram. Yeah.
But yeah, look, it's Voice Factory season 5 is on.
Yep.
We have the Chosen 10.
Mm-hmm.
They went through a rigorous period of auditioning people, whittled the number down. Now we have the Chosen 10. And so this
the
weekend,
actual show revolve around these 10.
Yes, these 10. For the next 13 weeks, they'll be on. They'll experience all kinds of emotions, highs, lows, and we'll test their singing abilities across several genres, several types of music.
They better come prepared though.
But that one, if you've made it here and you don't understand
the thing is, for me, when I look at these things, the game has changed. I've seen some of the auditions that went through. Incredible talent, But if you look at where some of the shows that we are watching now and some of the talent that is out there, and I don't even want to go outside. Like if you look at some of the talent that is leaving here to contest in some of these shows in the UK, in the US, in Australia, in all kinds of places, they're already at a world-class level.
Oh, I see.
Oh yeah, most it's just the lucky breaks that they've not had, and that's what shows like this provide. Lucky breaks, because most of these people would have tried to have a semblance of a career, but it's almost always the opportunity, because music requires, or some of these breakthroughs require that you meet the right people at the right time to be put in the right room for all these things to emerge. So that's what this is about. But for me, I think what a lot of the performers who, once they are picked, tend to do is they tend to kill themselves a bit.
How do you
try? No, I'm just saying that where the game is at now, you need to be really good. Because if you look at the names we've mentioned, look at where Kidi is now. Look at where Kwame Eugene is now. Look at where Wiyala is now. Look at the standards.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you are showing up on Voice Factory from tomorrow, when you step on that stage, you better be ready to deliver a mind-blowing, show-stopping performance that the people who are watching will look at it and say, whoa, this person, you cannot do the regular anymore. It will not work.
No, the regular will not work.
So the opportunity has been provided. The audience will be watching. The 10 who've been picked obviously have been picked because the judges, and I saw the judges are really, that's Edina by Davis. I saw Freddie Ma. On there as well.
There are other.
I mean, if Freddie Ma says your voice is good,
he's worked with a wide range.
But what a lot of them must add, you see, the thing is a show, it's a performance. It's not just about being able to sing. The music works. You can have a good voice, but they must be prepared to show up on Voice Factory
and put up a show.
Bebo show. Yankasa betonyum. Bebo show no. And then we will also enhance the show that you are coming to play with our technical gifts. And then your path will be opened. You understand? The path that you are looking for will be open. That's me preaching. Say amen.
Amen.
So tomorrow, I'll be there front row seat. The 10, you better be ready.
We'll open our ears.
I'm telling them, they better show up ready. They've been picked, but you must deliver something special. We've seen world class at this level. Like some of the people we've seen sing here locally. Like I said, the first time I saw this young lady, I met her here not too long ago. Nana Blue.
Yeah.
Look, if Nana Blue, perhaps, I don't know if she's contested in some of these things, but if she had that opportunity.
No, she hasn't.
She sings at a really high level. Okay? But, her time will come, perhaps. She's been doing the covers, using social media and all. But some of these opportunities, they come but once. And once you get picked, don't underestimate it. Don't do it. And for me, look, the people who have been picked, the 10, spend some money. You see, spend some money. We'll give you voice trainers and all those things. That's our job. But before you meet our voice trainers, you also have trained your voice at home. Get some artistic directors. Get some costumers. You understand? Get people who will design performances for you. Come and tell us that this is the performance I want to deliver. Can you execute it for us? We will look at it and say, this is what we can do, this is what we cannot do. But we'll meet halfway and give you a show. But don't come and stand on Voice Factory and say, I want to sing. As for the singing, everybody can sing. The singing alone, I know it is Voice Factory. I understand it is Voice Factory. But you see, if you look at Kwame Eugene, look at Wiela, they exude stardom.
Yeah.
You see, you just meet the people and they don't even have to open their mouth. The person is on stage. Stage presence.
Like joke. These two names you mentioned, they've been around for a long time. They have sustained their art.
Yes.
There have been people who just, flash and then
they disappear.
Yeah.
But they keep getting better. They keep getting better. So there's something to say.
You understand? So, and I'm even talking about their formative years. Like when they appeared on those stages. I remember I remember that one of the Black and Peaches. A lot of people don't remember the other two. A lot of people remembered Wiala. She had a wild look. An amazing, powerful voice. But the dancing, the charisma that she had, you could immediately tell that of the three that are there, this one is a bit different. And like last year, the gospel young lady who won, Araba, sorry. There's something a bit different about her, which got her through. I think because I think last year's Voice Factory had a lot of incredible voices. And that's the reason why I'm talking about performances. And in the end, that is what it might come down to. That combo of your incredible
your
voice
talent and your showmanship.
Yeah. That's actually 3 years ago.
Yeah, sorry,
3 years ago.
But I mean, that was the last
one.
Yeah,
I'm talking about the last episode. I'm speaking by episodes. Yeah. I will get to you. Don't worry. I'll let you play the song.
Araba.
But because she had an incredible voice for
a PhD in the UK.
You play me Araba.
You play me Araba in a second. But talking about performance, if you want your car to perform well, you need to give it a lot of Shell Helix, lubricants, Munko Swahini. Visit your local Shell station today and experience the difference for yourself. You just try it and come and give me a report. Now, there's a final notice from TDC Development Company Limited to all debtors, whether it's rent, ground rent, and all of those things. They are saying that they'll issue or they'll give you a number of places to go and settle your debts. GCB Mac Nationwide, mobile money short code *737*46#. Ashaiman sub office opposite Joe Cinema at Ashaiman Market, or the TDC head office near Olam Senior High School. Get in touch with them on 0596 913 236 or 0594 043311. Now, in life, when you find the best, you need to stick to it. Bellpack paper tissue is one of the best things in life. Bellpack has cereals that are soft but not weak, strong but not hard, just perfect. Switch to Bell Pack today and experience the perfect paper tissue. To be a distributor, call Belacqua on 0551 144 400. Bell Pack is another quality product from Bell Aqua. You can send in your messages on 0549 986 996. Samens has joined us. Apioko is also here.
We certainly know Samens can sing.
Oh, but why are you like that?
He tries once in a while, but we'll put him on the voice factory. Opening, cutting razor. Cutting razor.
Now, even I am laughing.
I thought men are featuring Netankwa.
Salman sang a solo during one of our city choir performances.
I was there.
Yes.
That was
it was
a trick.
It was the first Noel, I remember. And he sang a solo.
It was a trick.
Oh, Lord.
It was a trick.
Morning, Nathan.
Hi,
Morning.
how are you doing?
I'm well.
Yeah.
No, I heard you talking about the voice actor.
Oh, yes.
So I've included myself in the conversation.
Season 5. So tomorrow we've chosen our 10.
Yes,
what will be happening between now and the next 13 weeks?
So tomorrow we're going to be showing the auditions episode. Like I said the last time, and I repeat for those who have not heard, we had 2 days of auditions on the 20th and the 21st of May.
Okay.
So we had about over 200 people come through after having whittled down from a number of voice notes that we received via WhatsApp. Okay, so these people came through. We had 2 days of auditions. And then from there, we whittled down to 19 with our judges. And subsequently, we whittled down to 10. So these are the 10 people.
Number 19.
No, and look, Godfred was saying a lot of things that ring very true. It's not business as usual this year. There are lots of people who came through to the auditions whom 4 years ago when we last did the Voice Factory may probably have sailed through just because you want to give them a chance. But this time, that's not the case.
Standards
so it's
are high.
extremely competitive right from the get-go. Okay, and then apart from the top 10, there's one person who the judges couldn't really place but felt that there was something there. I mean, if Fredima tells you there's something there, I want to see this person, I want to see what they can do, I think we can bring something out of this person, then you take it. So you have 10 top contestants, but we also have a wild card. And so this person is also being thrown into the mix as the lucky 11th. And then we'll see what he can also bring to the competition. Yes. So beyond tomorrow, which is the auditions, it's already packaged, but you tune in. Look, you have no idea. But from next week Saturday, which is the 17th of June, we begin the live shows. So that's where the stage comes alive. We want to see performance dynamics. They'll be performing with a band. Many of them have not had that experience before.
Performing with a band.
Precisely. And they would have gone through their, rehearsals, some voice coaching, performance coaching, all that before they get onto the stage. And week 1, we're focusing on R&B.
Hey!
So it doesn't matter whether you've been singing gospel for 10 years.
You sing
It doesn't
R&B.
matter whether you think you can raga. That day you sing R&B. Because we're also looking for a versatile artist. Don't forget that when the music industry faces or experiences a shift, like we're seeing now with the Afro beats, right? You must be able to adapt. It doesn't mean you need to throw away the craft as you've known it, but you need to adapt so that you can also compete and remain relevant in the space.
That's true.
So we're taking them through emotions. There's reggae and dancehall in there. There's gospel itself. There's inspirational music as well. There's pop. There's soul. A whole medley of things. So we're high life, of course. And then Afro beats itself. We've just mentioned that. So throughout the weeks, every week, there's a different theme. There's a night where the judges, based on, at that point, they would have known the strengths of the contestants. So they'll tell you, I want you to perform this song by, say, Tina Turner, right? And you must get on the stage and perform it, deliver it, make it your own. More or less develop a cover out of it. And you have to do it.
Wow.
There's a night when they'll be performing with artists. So it could be your favorite artist, your icon. There's no room to be starstruck. Yeah. You must perform and match the energy on stage. So it's really a factory of voice, yes, but also of just crafting and building world-class performers, world-class musicians.
Wow, and they'll do that for 13 weeks.
For 13 weeks.
So 13 weeks of essentially going through the ringer.
I tell you.
It's like being thrown into a washing machine.
I tell you.
10, and we'll see what happens. Amazing stuff. So we have our chosen 10 with a wild card.
We do.
And then for the next 13 weeks. So when do the evictions come in?
Evictions will begin in the 3rd week of competition. Okay, so we have the 17th of June, we have the 24th of June, and then you move into the 1st of July. That is the first eviction night.
I see.
And a lot of people have been asking why. The reason is this: you can't just begin evicting for evicting's sake. Don't forget that, yes, it's a show and there's entertainment there, but we're trying to build something here. It's a bigger agenda. And we said we're looking for Africa's next pop star, right? So we need time for the judges, for everyone involved, to see the character of these people, especially the ones who are very green in the game, okay? By the 3rd week, you sort of have a sense, after having worked with them, seeing what their learning capabilities are, how far you can stretch their voices, what their style may be, what's sellable or billable about them in the music business. Then we can start the evictions. You also see the ones who don't want to learn. So, you can go. And then, of course, our audiences, because there will be voting.
Yes.
By then, would have developed either an affinity or a dislike for a particular contestant. And then they can vote with an informed position.
Wow, that's great. Voice Factory Season 5, like you heard Apioko say, starts tomorrow. So the 10th of June, it's the audition.
The auditions,
so we'll take viewers through the audition.
Exactly.
Find out how this person got chosen.
Precisely.
What they did, what they had to offer.
So that when you see Nathan Kwa on the 17th, you will not question why he is there. Because you know a certain Ambavi who auditioned. Why didn't she make it? You're not questioning because you see live for yourself what these people came to do.
Great. So,
but I want to mention their names, the top 10.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Do.
So you have Grace Wilson.
Okay.
Rigwell Ofori.
Okay.
Henry Aqua. Ernest Yeboah Asari.
Okay.
Mary Bella. Gamo Jerry Etonam. Benedicta Mauto Agbana. Ahmed Nimatu Maltiti, all the way from Tamale.
Yeah.
We've got Christabel Tetevi Princess, Seiram Agbozo, and then our wild card, our 11th contestant that we're throwing into the mix is Emmanuel Ayama.
Okay, so these are the chosen 10 plus the wild card. So the chosen 11 effectively, who will be going into the Voice Factory from. So next weekend is when the live shows.
Exactly.
That's when it will begin. But tomorrow night on Citi TV, we'll be giving you the auditions episode. Now, it will be on your screen every Saturday evening between 6:30 p.m. and 8 p.m. It's 1.5 hours.
Precisely.
Of great performances, of oohs and ahs, of tears
and laughter.
Wow, Voice Factory Season 5. Sometimes it will be great. It will be fun.
Yeah, it will. I'm looking forward to it.
For me, what I love about some of these things, judges' comments and the eviction shows. I always love the eviction shows when you put them on and say you are going home, and then say no, it was a joke. It was a trick. You are not going home. And the Voice Factory Season 5 is powered by Citi TV with support from Citi FM. Is proudly sponsored by Ebony Condoms, and Nalo Solutions, and Eddie's Pizza. All right, so you heard it. Get ready. It will be 13 weeks of excitement, disappointment, and a whole range of emotions in between. Season 5 of The Voice Factory. Godfrey, you are asking for the Araba song, right? Let's give you a feel of the Araba song. Yeah, powerful voice. But you just enjoy that. This is Araba, the winner of the last edition of Voice Factory.
I wanna sing, I wanna shout, I wanna scream till the words dry up.
Unleashing the power of relevant radio. This
You've
is
got the words to change a nation, but you're biting your tongue. You spent a lifetime stuck in silence, afraid that you say something wrong. If no one ever hears it, how we gonna learn your song? So come on, come on, come on, come on, you've got a heart as loud as lions. So why let your voice be tamed? Maybe we're a little different. There's no need to be ashamed. You've got the light to fight the shadows. So stop hiding it away. Come on, come on. I wanna sing. I wanna shout. I wanna scream till the words dry out. So put it in all of the papers. I'm not afraid. They can read all about it. Read all about it. Oh, 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 oh. Mm. Yeah, we're all wonderful, wonderful people. So when did we all get so fearful? And now we're finally finding our voices. So take a chance, come help me sing this. Yeah, we're all wonderful, wonderful people. So when did we all get so fearful? And now we're finally finding our voices. So take a chance, come help me sing this. I wanna sing, I wanna shout, I wanna scream.
8:45. Still listening to the Citi Breakfast Show. So that's about the winner of our last edition of The Voice Factory. And she was giving us a cover of Emily Sanders' Read All About. So like you heard, the auditions episode airs tomorrow between 6:30 and 8 p.m. And from the 17th, the live shows will begin on Citi TV between 6:30 p.m. and 8 p.m. Now, The Voice Factory Season 5 is powered by Citi TV with support from Citi FM and sponsored by Ebony Condoms, Nalo Solutions, Eddie's Pizza, Twist, Cupcake, and Copan Hospitality. But guys, I mean, it's always fun having these platforms, and it's important to help these talents come out, show their singing abilities, dancing abilities in some cases, writing abilities in some other cases. But for me, I just think that the big thing has to do with, okay, so people emerge, and then what? Is there the finance? Is there the backing? Is there even money in that space for them to go as far as they can possibly go? Because to succeed in this, you really need a lot of finance, you need a lot of backing. And I think the space needs to be treated like how we treat any other part of an economy where people are willing to pump in money. Corporates should be ready to say, you know what, we are dedicating money to this. We want to play a key role in the creative space. You know, but I don't know. I don't see a lot of it here.
No, you're right. And it's because we don't understand the potential, not just the economic potential, but the social potential of the creative arts. Look, you see, the artist is even one thing. One of the main problems we have in our space, you have the artist. The artist should have the room to create, expand, and then unleash that creativity into the world, right? But you need to do that by collaborating with other industry players.
Mm-hmm.
So an artist should have a talent manager, for example, who can help to shape and direct that talent. An artist should have a business development manager, so a business expert, a business mind, who can say, okay, we can sell your talent in this arena. We can pitch it for this. We can get you an endorsement deal here. We can put you on this stage here, beyond these shores, in this country, at this music festival, right? And you have a costumier. Godfrey mentioned it. Someone who is looking at how you look for every song you sing, for every stage you mount, for every audience that is watching you or listening to you or that you're performing to. How should you show up on stage? You know, all these things. In fact, not every singer is a songwriter. So you need to be collaborating with writers.
Yeah.
Where are the writers who are writing songs for these people, so that the power of language that we want to see come out in our music, that also shows up. But if we don't have that deliberate policy or that deliberate framework that says that in the creative arts space, all these players need to be there, and we're picking from here, there, and there, we don't look serious. And so which serious business person will come and put their money into it? And you see, art is not like producing sashi water, where when you produce it, you have a market in mind, you've done your feasibility study. When the product comes out, you sell it, you get your profits. You can even project your ROIs and all that. It's not like that. That's why other parts of the world have grants, arts grants, because when you take it, the product is not tangible. The product is more ephemeral, more emotional. It's adding to the culture and what that culture is becoming and how it's evolving and how it now becomes heritage for you, cultural heritage for you. So it needs to be very deliberate. And because of that, it's expensive, because you may not necessarily get back your returns in terms of hard cash. The currency may be different, okay? So unless we start putting the framework together and really understanding these things, and then incorporating creative arts in a structured manner into our educational system.
Okay.
So that you understand why music is important. And you're not making fun of somebody that they went to study dondology. Or you understand that in a classroom, a science classroom, art also plays a role, and you can actually use it to teach somebody who doesn't get it in science or mathematics, where all these subjects are actually interconnected.
Yeah.
They mustn't stand on their own. You know, and that's why I have a problem with the way, for example, our educational system at the high school level is structured, where if you're either a science student or you're an arts student, there's no intermarrying of the two. So you come out into the real world thinking that you have to be one or the other. This same binary thinking that's plaguing us on every level of society. You're either this political party or that political party. You're either black or you're white. You either like science or you like art. It doesn't have to be like that. In fact, some of the most successful artists have a strong science background and vice versa. So until we get it right and we have serious conversations and stop treating it like it's just one of those other things, we will not be able to build a creative economy and be a part of the bigger, what we are calling global orange economy now. And we'll forever be lagging behind. And this is a low-hanging fruit. If we do it well and we attach seriousness to it, this is an easy way for us to be making money for our economy.
I like the bit where you talked about the artists themselves, the most critical part of that, because it is true. Some people may be talented, but I think a lot of people need to understand that it is business as well, and you have to treat it with all the seriousness it requires. You may be talented, but if you don't have the right work ethic, the right team, the right support, even the right mentality around your own creativity, it really won't earn you anything.
When you're doing art or music, poetry, of course I'll mention poetry because I'm any of these things. You can't just get up and say, I'm not inspired today, so I won't write a song. I won't go to the studio. I want to sleep. It is a full-time job.
It's a 9 to 5.
9 to 5 or beyond.
Or beyond.
If your thing, we have Kwame Yeboah. Kwame Yeboah is usually in the studio in the night. You know, Stoneboy, I know, also does a lot of night recordings. King Promise, he's also that kind of person. We have examples of that. But the bottom line is, what is your working structure? And how can you infuse your discipline into that? You know, if you don't have a plan for it, it will not work. And it must be documented that this is the concept I want to do. This is the song I'm making. I want it to go here. You treat it like any product, because your music or your art is a product. So it's not, I feel inspired today. So no, there's an element of that. But when it comes down to it, and you are doing commission work, or you are working with a record label that is paying you, and pumping money into your craft. You can't decide that I'm not singing today in the studio because I'm tired or I just don't feel like it. Nothing is coming. There's nothing like writer's block or at that point. No, there isn't. Sometimes, and I can use myself as an example, you get commission work and the client is coming late. They want it in 6 days. Will you say that you turn the thing out? No, you will find a way to write. If it means you are staying up until 2 a.m., 3 a.m. and write. And then you do all the other things that you have to do in life, if you have other jobs, whatever it is. So the artist as well needs to be serious. And a lot of our artists are not.
Wow.
That's the truth.
So okay, that's quite interesting. The artists themselves are not serious. Sometimes, do you think that's why those with the money, say corporate institutions, do not find investing in the arts a worthwhile venture? Or you feel that it's just it's a mindset thing?
I think there are some cultural underpinnings that we need to confront, and we've seen different cycles of advertising culture, or advertising stroke sponsorship, early on, which is like four decades ago, you'd have the cigarette companies mostly doing the sponsorship.
Okay.
And,
so we are talking then
the 70s,
80s,
80s, yes. And then they went off the scene, and then the alcoholic beverages companies came on the scene. You had KBL leading the pack. At the time, KBL was not connected to Guinness, so KBL was very active in entertainment space. I mean, if you lived in Kumasi, you know what I'm talking about. So then they went off the scene, and then I may have skipped a few, but mainly then the telcos would come in, and telcos dominated for quite a while. And I must say that the financial services companies led by UT Financial Services actually broke through that arena of sponsorship. Financial services, I think UT dominated for a very long time, and the benefits that it came with. But I think, again, we as a country haven't seen sponsorship beyond what it gives us today. So Miss Ghana, for instance, they are struggling to get sponsorship. And the reason is that people look at it with a certain moral lens that makes some organizations uncomfortable. Okay? They are not looking at building a Ghana brand. They are not looking at trying to use the Miss Ghana brand to, if like, prescribe a preferred lifestyle for a young lady. They are not thinking that they can use this Miss Ghana to address issues of menstrual hygiene. They are not thinking, they are thinking, oh no, when you give them these small girls, that's how we think. And I am always in a hurry to compare how we do things to how the Nigerians do things, because music is surviving in Nigeria and other African countries for various reasons, including the ability of the corporate world to pump money to support. Because when you put money there, what you have done is not to give to a musician to go and chop the money. What you have done is that with that one musician that you are supporting, you have created jobs for almost 100 other persons in that chain of production. The events that they organize, there's an event planner. There's somebody who supplies chairs. There's somebody who supplies canopies. There's somebody who supplies equipment, lights,
do sound.
So I think this is what we are missing. But you may be the most talented. If industry is not able to figure out the benefits of sponsoring the creative arts, not so much can be achieved. I mean, we on this side, we do events.
Yeah.
Now, in Ghana, if you do events and your financial model is on tickets, you're in trouble. How much are you going to charge participants? Not much. So if we don't get to the place where corporate Ghana will begin to see value in sponsoring creative arts, look at our festivals.
Not immediate value, but long-term value.
Yeah, but it's inclusive of immediate and longer term.
Okay.
I mean, there's the Kundum Festival, there's Afashe Festival.
All these,
there's, you know, when you approach these companies, of course, and I'm talking about companies who have what it takes to sponsor, they actually treat you as if they are doing you a favor. You have to beg, they have to come with their own terms, they have, you know, all these things. And we don't see the end of it. Okay, go to the northern sector. Culture-rich festivals that we can use sponsorship to turn around and package it to bring it up to international level of recognition.
And sell the Ghana story.
You understand? I've seen Ghanaians and Africans showcasing African culture in England, for instance. And at times, what they showcase to be giving the money they are giving, I just laugh. I like this 2x4 thing that class one person can do in Ghana. You are just deceiving these white people. You understand? But that's an indication that if we package it well, we are consistent, it will sell. But we don't do it. That's why the young man in Tamale, Ibrahim Muhammad, that's why I always applaud him. Because he used nothing to build what he has. And he had a vision of doing something which is world class. Ask him whether any company has sponsored him in Ghana. Forget it. So I think that the point that Pioko made is how corporate Ghana would begin seeing the creative arts as that point that we can be used to revolutionize the youth development of this country and job creation.
Do you think it's something policy can remedy? For example, you can almost twist.
I won't even let you finish this. I won't even let you finish this. I have been an advocate unashamedly of policy to favor the Ghanaian. It has to favor the Ghanaian. Go to Nigeria and see. They will ban you. They will not allow you to do it. And they don't care. You can't go and play any kind of music in Nigeria. You can't do just anyhow you do. You know, a TV station, you are from some other country, come and own TV for the way in Nigeria. No. So what I'm saying is that they haven't gotten to where they are just because somebody... No,
they've been deliberate.
Was carefully structured, carefully crafted. And now we are seeing the benefits. You know, in Ghana, all the things we say here, the policy makers, they know. They know everything. In fact, they know better than we do. I'm telling you. Of course, they don't have the microphone. They know better than we do. I'm telling you. The other thing is that they don't have what it takes to execute. And I'm not accusing any particular person. I am talking about what we see on the ground. Because if you go into the ministries, you go into the agencies, you will see stacks of documents that will prove that everything we are saying has been thought of before. The only thing that hasn't happened is that it has not been executed. If it's been executed, it then has not been executed in an efficient manner. Now let's talk about what Akwesi Agyeman and his team are doing with bringing people back to Ghana.
Yeah,
Beyond the
return.
Is it new?
No. The Joseph Project.
The Joseph Project. Jacob Bechebilamte, Kojo Yanka, and all these people.
Back in the day, we had Panafe. Yeah, I remember my dad worked
You
at the
understand?
Secretariat.
Now the difference that is clear is that somebody has, in a sustainable manner, insisted on pushing the agenda of executing this policy. That's what we see. And that's what we see. So you look at the tourism numbers, they keep rising. They keep rising. And every day they are thinking of new ways of expanding their footprint. And that's how you build a community, you build a nation. So this is where we are. But even that, I am thinking corporate Ghana could have done better in supporting.
I see.
But I don't see anything like that.
Is it because they haven't been presented with the... I mean, that's why I asked, because
there are cultural issues.
There are cultural issues. Maybe policy, like I was saying, policy can maybe strong arm, quote unquote.
Yes.
Strong arm.
Because in some countries, for instance, I forget, I haven't read this kind of thing in over 20 years. Okay. But in some countries, for instance, if foreign company come in, they will force you to go into agriculture as part of whatever you're going to do. You may be a manufacturer of, if you like, glasses or even phones. They will tell you that in this place, if you come and set up a company here, you have to do 1,000 hectares of sugarcane plantation as your social responsibility. Guess what? You have preserved their vegetation. You are investing into agriculture. You are keeping people employed. But here, no. They will bring the people here to come and compete with our indigenous Ghanaians and give the people who came tax breaks. They won't pay tax. Ghanaians will pay the tax. Then when they finish, they will repatriate the money, they will change it into dollars and take it back to their country. And when we are having exchange rate problems, we feign surprise.
So we are essentially setting ourselves up for failure.
Every day.
Every day. That's what we do.
Meanwhile, the low-hanging fruits are there. Tourism, creative arts. Tourism, creative arts. There's nothing we can do better than these two places. Yeah. As Ghana, there's no other thing we can do better than these two places. As I keep saying, no foreigner can tell your own story better than yourself.
Yeah. Reminds me of the Nigerian policy where they said if you want to shoot adverts in Nigeria, use Nigerian actors and actresses. Simple.
Yes.
That's it.
Nathan, when was the last time you went to Nigeria?
The only time I went to Nigeria was in 2013.
Papa, you won't see anybody's face on any billboard.
No foreign face.
It has to be Nigerian.
Finish.
You think the Nigerians, they want to wake up and see foreigners on their... Why? It's only in Ghana that everything is free. You can enter free. You can do anything free. Even television. Look at DSTV. Ghana, we have DSTV. You are happy with it. Go to Nigeria.
They don't have Nigerians.
They want to see Nigeria on DSTV.
Yes,
who born dog? They don't joke with these things.
It's true. I remember when you first said. So I watched. I noticed that they have their own shows.
Yes, they do.
They have their own little shows.
It's a policy.
They have their own studio.
It has to be. Look, I'll tell you what. I think 8 or so years ago, the EPL came up with a policy. The whole distribution changed. Where IMG Media was the key distributor, production company and distributor. Now they came back and said that they want to see English faces in the distribution chain. So remember, we used to have South African guys.
Yes. Back in the
yes. What's his name? The old guy. He was in the old man who used to be one of the panelists. He played in 1966 World Cup.
Terry Payne.
Terry Payne and his team. Remember?
Yes, Terry Payne, Gary Bailey.
Have you noticed that you don't see them again? It's a policy. The people said that we don't want South Africans to do that. We want to do it. So capture everything, including studio discussions from England. That's what we are selling to you. Nigerians say for the where. They say for the where. We want to see Amokachi on the team. He also played in Everton. So they took a decision. And if you like, don't mind Nigeria and see what will happen to you. So
that's 40% of your revenue.
That's a good chunk of the numbers going away.
So at least we can learn. if we are not learning from the things that Nigeria is succeeding in, let's find creative ways to tap into the Nigerian market because it's huge.
You always say that if Ghana is selling something and the Nigerians are not buying, then there's a problem.
Exactly.
If you are selling anything and they are not buying
anything, I'm telling you, from religion
then
to
there's a
whatever.
challenge.
If you are selling a Nigerian, the Nigerian is not buying, there's something wrong with it. You think somebody will come from New Zealand and jump all countries to come and support your economy? That person is a suspect because he's seeing something you are not seeing.
You are not seeing.
I'm telling you. So that's how we build societies. And we need to take advantage of the sub-region. And look, like I keep saying, these things have been thought through by people already.
We need to recognize even our unique place, even our location as a country is so important. Look at us, surrounded by French-speaking countries, right? And the only place where people can learn a language properly is in Accra.
Accra.
Right? Kumasi maybe to an
as
extent.
well,
But how
yes.
come, say, we don't have a proper language learning institute, say, Tamale?
Because we don't see the
border
importance.
town.
We don't see the
Get
importance.
people in,
Meanwhile,
make money off them.
Ghanaians should wake up. We should wake up. And look, we over-depend on the political systems way too much. And for a poor country like Ghana, not until the system would be able to craft an economy, a dynamic economy outside of the political structure, we are going nowhere. Listen, outside of the political structure, do you need a political person to help you to be a musician?
No.
Do you need politics to help you to be a footballer?
No.
Tourism. You understand?
Yeah.
So, and look at Nigeria. The Nigerian non-political economy is what is making Nigerian stand.
True.
Because if you go into the politics, there are concert people like us. No.
They get into all kinds of things. Yeah, but it is true outside because the Nigerian music industry
is commissioning his project, and go and see the number of politicians who on that occasion didn't remember which parties they belong to.
They were all sitting by each other.
So we need to take things seriously. We will say this is our business month. We are saying that Ghana, let's raise Ghanaian champions in industry. Think for a moment. If Zoom Lion is taking us a case, an icon of sanitation in Ghana, and we help him penetrate the West Africa region, can you imagine the benefits that this will inure to Ghana?
Think about the Ghanaians.
If tropical cable and conductors, tropical cable and conductors, if we skew our policies such that companies like Tropical Cable will start winning at the continent level. Go to Cote d'Ivoire, next door Cote d'Ivoire. It is a criminal offense to import cables.
You have to use
cables from there.
It is an offense. You can't import cables from any other country. There are about 3 major cable companies in Cote d'Ivoire. You understand? But Ghana, see, every day, fire in a building, fire here.
We have
opened up everything to the extent that instead of doing cables, they bring wire. You understand? They go and bring strange things from different places and then they use it because it's cheap. You understand? We are not building, we are not building. Let's look for Ghanaian champions in every industry, from entertainment,
construction, entertainment, sanitation, health, all across, and back them well.
At the risk of not sounding too controversial, these are Ghana Music Awards, which has been the biggest music brand in the last 20 years or so, right?
Yeah.
How old are they now?
More than that, actually. Yeah.
About 20 plus years.
Guess what? Iola Ayowade is Nigerian.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
End of story.
So what are we doing to ourselves? We should get work done, industry by industry. Make sure that we create champions out of these industries. And there are people, they are naysayers. They are going to be there all the time. People will point fingers, people will criticize, people will pull him down. But so what? Let's build our institutions. We keep saying, if the person has an offensive conduct, let the institutions deal with that. You know, as for some of the things we say here, we won't stop saying, we'll say, The other day, the McDan one, they gave him some dilapidated building at the airport there. People say, hey, they've given it to him. Hey, this connection. Hey. Building that had been abandoned and was leaking and all. Go back 2 decades ago. Our entire cargo village, airport cargo, was handed over to somebody else who's not Ghanaian. We clap for the government. She, this is what we do. Once it's Ghanaian, the first reaction is that, why is it him? Why should it be him? There must be something wrong with it. But why shouldn't it be a Ghanaian? Go to the pharmaceutical industries.
Yeah, we have a lot of Ghanaians doing big things, but they are not getting support.
Go to the pharmaceutical industries. We have opened it up for people who have no space and gravitas in their own country. Find funny monies from corners, bring it to Ghana, come and upstage our own people, and we sit and watch.
No, we could be backing, and it's not like our people too are green. They are in the space. They've been working for years.
In fact, what they are producing, the Ghanaian pharmaceutical industry, where there are Ghanaian players, they have the best quality.
Charlie?
They have the best quality. Any other kind of good drug or medicine or medication or whatever you want to call a pharmaceutical product is being imported and not being produced by somebody here. But the best on the market are being produced by Ghanaians. You go and ask the doctors and the health practitioners; they'll tell you.
We have spoken about culture, we have spoken about creative, which is what has brought us here.
Yes.
But the ultimate is about safeguarding and preserving the Ghana business community. You understand? Last week, somebody sent a message to Bernard, which message I think on Monday we will revisit. That, the Ghana revenue is going after people who are defaulting and all
taxes
that.
Talk to them. They want to know why they are having difficulties in paying.
Yeah.
So they want to tell their side of the story. Like the business community are saying, they want to tell their side of the story.
Yeah. And then
because we are only telling the story of the GRA.
The person said that we in the media, we make some of these people look like they are criminals. And the thing really hit me. It really hit me. You see the way they speak to them when they go there. You are under arrest. You are, hey. I don't blame them because they all grew up in the 80s. You understand? They are not criminals. Times are hard. Businesses don't make sense anymore. And I can say that because I'm in one. You get me? So it's not just an issue of Ghana revenue is after you. Hey. But look at a certain funny cycle in the energy sector. Ghana Gas is owing GMPC. GMPC is owing this person. This one is owing
IPP.
And everybody owes IPP.
Everybody owes the IPP.
Everybody owes IPP.
It's a vicious cycle, But I hear the issue of Togbe Afede's company. What's the name of the company?
Sunon.
And I'm always excited when I hear. I'm always excited because it is owned by a Ghanaian. Because it's owned by a Ghanaian. If he has difficulties, let's help him to succeed. You see, that's the only way we can build a nation, Tomo. That's the only way.
Because in other places, it's done. When native businesses are suffering, they get support, they get help.
Ghana, somebody will choke you. Somebody who's closer to power will go and take your model and pass behind you and go and do the thing. Meanwhile, they don't have what it takes to do it. It's all over. And that's what we are seeing. If we don't put the Ghanaian first, this country should forget it. if we cannot put the Ghanaian, we should force our way to put the Ghanaian first. That's what we are saying.
Policy must favor the
Ghanaian. Even if we have to be biased, we should do it. Because that's the only way we can sell our country. I'm telling you. Look, I talked about the airport thing.
Yes.
Yeah. A friend passed through the airport, I don't know under which circumstance, and saw the place. He said, "But you guys, you are not making noise about this, your private jet place in Ghana." I said, "But it's not for me. I don't know what the person is doing." But if you Google anything about it, it's only negative things you see.
Yeah.
But people who are sitting at home, who have time on their hands, they go on social media and just insult people. And Ghanaians will make them champions. Yeah. The only country where people become stars because they know how to insult. Why? So we should take advantage and make it Ghana.
We have
Nigerian
to make
has done
Ghana.
it.
They just made it Nigeria.
Yes.
Yeah, we may not have the if you like the strength or the power to be banning certain things like Nigeria will do. I mean Nigeria. An international airline will say that, oh, we have made a new policy against Nigeria. They won't say anything. They say we to reciprocate.
I recall there was this yellow card issue with South Africa, if you remember. And they were charging Nigerians $150 also. Oh, the Nigerians said no problem.
You come.
No, you cannot land in 2 weeks.
Look at this. Look at this. I mean,
2 weeks they were begging.
We are still importing tissue paper into Ghana.
They were begging.
We are still importing tissue paper into Ghana.
Meanwhile, it's not like there aren't any paper manufacturing companies here.
Go to Nigeria.
No, more than ever.
They banned importation of tissue paper. They banned it. And that policy alone, go and see what it has generated in Nigeria.
In Kenya and Tanzania, in Kenya, if you go Chandaria, that's the largest
Yeah.
sanitation hygiene products company in East Africa.
In East Africa.
Yeah.
So that's Kenya, that's
They produce-
Tanzania, that's Rwanda,
Yeah.
that's
So in
Uganda.
If you look at Kenya and Tanzania, all tissue papers are homemade. They don't import those.
At all.
But in those countries, like Samuels was saying, a lot of those industries are local. So if you go to Tanzania, for instance, Azam controls transport.
Yeah.
It's complete.
The owners of the football club.
Yes, the football club is part of their
Part
business.
of that. Okay.
So if you take the ferry, if you're going to Zanzibar, you're taking the ferry. It's
Yeah,
either you're taking an
Azam.
Azam ferry or you're taking some other kind of.
What?
Everything is
We
local.
want to
Like
talk
if you
about
look at
welfare
the top
transportation.
10 companies in the country, if you look at Moduji bottling, there's no bigger bottler in the country than Moduji.
Yeah.
It's not an expert. Moduji is Tanzanian.
And it's everywhere.
Gets kidnapped every once in a while.
Right now, Coca-Cola is suffering in every country, in every African country. Why? Because the indigenous have found a way to provide alternatives. It started hitting when I was working with Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
It started hitting us in Cameroon when I was in Cameroon.
I see. Cameroon.
Yes, where there's a local cola drink that at the time was providing, I think, if my memory serves me well, 75 cl instead of 65 cl instead of the Coca-Cola's regular 35 cl in a bottle. And guess what? It was cheaper than Coca-Cola.
Wow.
Why wouldn't they drink it?
Because they'll drink that.
You understand? And it's suffering. Look at Ghana, Trillium Company. They have provided alternatives. You know, so I'm saying that the opportunities are there. We just need to be deliberate to push our own people. And that's not to say we don't want foreigners to work here. They should. But bringing in foreigners to succeed at the expense of the indigenes is not a good policy. To come and succeed, you bring the person, say, come into agribusiness, and then
you wipe
for 5
out,
years,
you
they don't pay a
absolutely
certain
wipe
kind
out.
of tax. They are giving so and so. Maybe it's a good way of attracting them, yes. But have you thought of the indigene who will stay physically in Ghana long after the foreigner has left? And don't we see multiple cycles of this. You understand? Godfrey, when we were children growing up in Kumasi, the area across the street from Dakujum, have you seen that area? It's part of the Ishiaiso system, right?
Yes.
Going up to +2, was it +2? They call it where the Itri, +2. That entire area, we used to call the place Paramount.
Why?
Because the Paramount distilleries.
Oh, okay.
You remember Paramount
Yes,
distilleries?
snaps.
Yes, those people.
Yes.
The white people, that's where they used to live. Okay. And the way the thing was positioned was that if you want a proper drinker, it has to be Paramount.
Gins and snaps.
Exactly. Now, guess what? Some way, somehow, we kicked them out, or they got themselves out, and it opened the space for the likes of Casapreco. If I were managing policy, I would take the likes of Casapreco and force them to compete internationally. Help them. The tax breaks that you are giving to these foreigners, give it to Casapreco. But you see the people chasing the, hey, you owe money. Hey, or that will close your shop. Hey, I won't say certain things.
Meanwhile, look, you're talking about Casapreco. It's a huge company.
That's what I'm saying. That we need to get things that we can be proud of.
And they've diversified not only from brewing the hard stuff, they are doing water these days.
And when COVID hits, they were the ones who started producing hand sanitizers.
So we really need to push this Ghana agenda. Make it Ghana. Make it Ghana. Again, I say, make it Ghana.
Thank you.
Yes.
Standard Water has been giving us water for 25 years, and they are all over the country. They are in 11 regions, and they are expanding to get to all 16. They've got a wide offering. They are giving you sachet water, bottled water, dispenser-mounted jar water, and customized water for your parties and other special occasions. Call Standard Water on 0202-055-703 or 0547-334-385. This ad is FDA approved. Old Mutual is 10 years old. Join them to celebrate a decade of greatness. Get in touch with them on 0501-579-204 or visit their website oldmutual.com.gh for more info. Find out the great things they are doing. Old Mutual do great things every day. Now, when was the last time you heard 10% interest, collateral, free loan, and 1 million CDs in the same sentence? Never, right? Well, if you're a female entrepreneur, young business owner, or into agribusiness or fintech, then there's great news for you. In collaboration with the MasterCard Foundation, Absa is offering SME loans at only 10% per annum. To help you move your businesses to the next level, get a collateral-free loan of up to 1 million CDs from Absa now to grow your business. Visit the Absa SME Project Office at Ridge in Accra, the nearest Absa branch, or visit their website absa.com.gh to find out more. That's Africanasti, that's Absa. T's and C's apply. Still listening to the Citi Breakfast Show. Your messages have come in on 0549986996. We'll read all of them, and we'll do a few other things before we sign out at 10. But we'll take a very quick break. When we come back, we've got more for you. This is still the Citi Breakfast Show. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
The Citi Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise.
My name is Francisca Schroeder. Fobaska deals with stationery items, and it takes a lot of funds to run. Absa, formerly Barclays, has been my banker and has been very helpful to me. My relationship manager came to my shop after checking my turnover and records, said I could apply for a loan and training under the Absa Young African Works program, and it was very exciting. I will encourage other entrepreneurs to join Works program to take their business to the next level. Absa Medase.
This partnership is in collaboration with MasterCard Foundation. That's Africanacity. That's Absa.
Hey, are you worried about your parties, weddings, hangouts, on what drink to enjoy for the celebration? Or you're worried about how to celebrate your friends and family during that special occasion? Now that is Bigo! With Bigo, no wahala gala for the occasion. They made it for everyone to enjoy and have the ideal celebration. Bigo, the soft drinks that comes in 16 and 20 in a pack. Hey, Charlie, that is Bigo. A lot to go around in various packs. It's refreshing and good quality. Now that is Bigo. The taste is Bigo. Another quality product from Twillium Industries Limited. This advert is FDA approved.
Bigo.
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CitiCBS.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show. The Citi Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise.
Unleashing the power of relevant radio. This is Citi 97.3.
Welcome back. This is still the Citi Breakfast Show. June is our business month. We are talking all kinds of great things in the world of business and all of that. But you see, what is tying everything together is Make It Ghana. So I think this year is Make It Ghana year because Heritage Caravan, we said Make It Ghana. And we are talking business. We have to make it Ghana. Like it cannot work. And I've never seen any country succeed when they didn't help their own people. The biggest stories of this world, Samsung, Microsoft, think Alibaba, whatever. Think about it. All of them had great backing back home. You know, whatever it is, they got support. They were giving a platform on which to build. The biggest successes in Africa, Dangote and Co. All of them got a platform in their countries from which they could launch and go big and do massive things and become global brands. So Ghana, if we really want to, it's not negotiable. Like I've not read, I was reading this book called Bad Samaritans, and the author is South Korean. He was talking about when the West tells countries that open up, free trade is good. He says, listen to me. Those countries, before they got to this point where they could grow muscle to tell you that do free trade, they were looking inwards. they were banning imports of wool and things. Countries that had millions of sheep said, you know what, we'll use the wool from here. We'll not allow people to bring in wool from any place. So you have to grow your own countries first. But let's go through some of the messages that have come in. Please help us with some messages.
It says, we must have a role in building the Ghanaian narrative that we desire. It is not going to happen with non-loyalists and non-citizens. The virus of foreign dependency has affected the zeal of the Ghanaians to start from within. There will be a recipe for indigenous appetite to have a higher chance of dominance with the deliberate policy, direction, and willingness. Good morning, Nathan and team from Yakubu bin Chambers in Accra. Hello, City. There seems to be some evil spirit in Ghana. Ghanaians seem to rejoice with glee when a Ghanaian fails. They get fuel for their gossip, an opportunity to say, aha, aha. The Ghanaian politician and policymaker will favor a foreigner over his fellow Ghanaian.
Yeah, same shit.
Kweku from Ahonjo says, guess what? The Dakwejom area you're talking about is now a Chinese hub. They own properties there. Hello, City. There is huge issue and challenge of greed on the part of Ghanaians. They want to sign a document to approve a policy, etc. will demand a bribe. Otherwise, the document does not get signed. So the young up and coming artist who does not have money to pay bribe will get stuck at some point. I like the discussion.
So this person, he doesn't want to make it Ghana. The person taking the bribe, he doesn't want to make it Ghana.
Well, I don't want to mention any other foreigners, but there are other foreigners who are taking more bribes and paying more bribes.
I like your discussion. My problem is, will the political people allow businesses to grow when they brand everyone doing well into politics? I beg you, not in Ghana. Sometimes always makes me feel bad as a Ghanaian. Nonetheless, I admire its line of thought, provoking delivery, and its love for country. But until we change our orientation, the type of governance system will forever remain like this. Good morning, Citi Breakfast. In Nigeria, Basanjo banned the importation of tissue, and they have a very thriving tissue industry. It's an offense. In Ghana, you enter supermarkets and you see foreign tissue products. Meanwhile, we have companies in Ghana manufacturing some of the finest. Kwesi Baldwin inside Tessano says, "Good God richly bless Samens." What he's saying is very true. Ghanaians must wake up. Kwesi Taylor from Adentan. Samens' contributions are spot on. However, I think the reason some corporate brands don't come on board some activities because the organizers don't tailor value propositions to suit the brands. I'm an assistant brands manager. It surprised you what bland proposals I receive from event organizers. That's also true.
Well, that's also true.
Yes,
that's also true. But you know, we in this on this side of it can also open your eyes to certain things that have gone on. You know, companies that have chosen certain kinds of campaigns and events to sponsor because they get kickbacks from those in charge of taking advertising decisions, major kickbacks. And when those people leave the company, the advertising thing stops.
Exactly. Great discussion. You guys are igniting about the development of arts and cultural economy. Unfortunately, when it comes to sponsorship, those seeking the sponsorship think it's an opportunity to enrich themselves. Organizations don't dole out sponsorship money for free. They want to know what benefits will accrue to them. Publicity and exposure, sales, brand, growth, etc. So similar point. Good morning, Nathan. This show has really provided a lot of opportunities for you. This shows...
these shows, I think he was making a reference to some of the music.
Yes, have really shows. Provided a lot of opportunities for our youth than even a deliberate government program like NAPCO, which has only caused us haircuts and economic hardships. How Jones, government should rather turn attention to some of these programs like CTFM Voice Factory. Okay, and then so these are some of the messages that have come through on the show this morning.
I don't even know how he ended up with this song. I don't even know how you ended up with this Ulome song. Aso nye ho dani yegbo aso mankwe ye wono dani yegbo.
So you're asking a question like, listen, did you guys sell us off? You know, before your exit.
Oh man. Somebody's asking when
Voice Factory
show. So the Voice Factory begins airing tomorrow. And from tomorrow, which is the 10th of June, every Saturday for 13 weeks, 6:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. Okay, 6:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. on Citi TV. So please don't miss it. Susanna.
But, you know, in all of this, Godfrey, it takes me back to a question you regularly ask. But, you know, there's this exercise you always give Bernard and the rest of us.
He hasn't done it yet.
And he said, Charlie, can we name like some of the big boys? If we say like Ghanaian champions, you know.
Yeah, that time, he has this book, a map of Ghanaian industry.
Yes.
Know, and I don't have a copy, which is why I always ask him. Maybe some men has a copy so he can help.
Which one?
It's on Ghanaian Enterprises.
A map
it's
of
a book on
Ghanaian
Ghanaian Enterprises.
Yeah, we had a book like that.
Yes,
Bernard has one.
Bernard usually makes reference.
Which lists the top companies in the country, you know. And I always ask him, so if we took the top 20 companies by size, by revenue, how many of them would be owned by Ghanaians?
If you contrast that to some of the places you know, how would it look?
It will be difficult. Because if we go to Samense's favorite West African zone, next door,
Nigeria.
If you took a top 10, you would have MTN in there, of course.
Okay.
As a major player because of the size. Okay. But you would also have a lot of other companies in there that would be local. A lot. With significant size. Because you have a Dangote in there. You have Adenuga hiding somewhere in there.
I don't know the details of companies like that, you know. But what I know is that Nigeria, when you come from outside, even the ownership of the company, you are forced
to have a
Nigerian partner.
Absolutely.
Okay. Godfrey, so I mean, you are very familiar with
that's the point I'm making. So, like,
things.
by size, how many of them would be? And it's something that we must always ask ourselves, because then it makes it easier to point at who the champions of industry are. So if we were to mention real estate today in Ghana, who is the Ghanaian champion of real estate? There are a lot of names in real estate in Ghana, but who's the truly dominant player in real estate? I don't know. There might be names, you understand? The same way we go to maybe, what else do we do in Ghana? Services.
Yeah.
We do a lot of services in Ghana. We do a lot of construction, which is the question I asked. So,
who are the biggest?
Who are the biggest? You know, what is their contribution? What is their skill? What do they do elsewhere? Okay, so once we struggle to come up with some of these names, and the same way we're able to rattle off the names of, so I'm sitting here talking about Modiuji, I'm talking about Manu Chandaria, I'm talking about all those people, and Sames is talking about Dangote and all those other people. Who are the names that readily come to mind when you talk about Ghana? So you can talk about, he mentioned Kasapreko, I've forgotten the man's name. Kasapreko founder.
I'm trying to
you know, so some of these names must readily come to mind. Okay, and it's something we've not done well with. And that's also because of how we are unable to separate politics and industry. Okay, and somebody alluded to that in the messages, where we tend to look at some of these persons and their businesses as political obstacles. So the fact that the person has a certain level of wealth means that the person's influence could be a potential challenge. Okay, so the fact that the person controls maybe industry in a certain region means that if that person moves, he could block you getting certain kinds of votes in certain places.
Right.
Okay, and does not mean that those persons should not be political, but it's up to the political society to sit up and ask themselves, what is the worth of having this entity running and growing to this country as compared to it not existing at all?
Yeah.
Okay, but they tend to look at it in the opposite, where it's simply a matter of, I must survive politically. This person is an opponent. This person is getting in my way. Or this person doesn't wear the same colors as I do. So get the person out of the way. So you realize that some the businesses do not thrive full cycle. There are generally difficult business periods, as we are having in Ghana. So we expect Ghanaian businesses at this point, based on what is happening with the economy, to struggle. But what we have generally tended to do with our businesses is that you would have businesses who do well in political cycles. So a business will do well for 4 years because the political party believes that, the governing party believes that, okay, this business is friendly to us. If another one comes and believes that it's not very friendly, that company starts struggling. Okay, because then they get all kinds of difficulties. So you never truly have Ghanaian businesses take off and get the kind of help that is required for them to become major players in the sub-region, the way others have become major players in the sub-region. Okay, so we have a long way to go in pushing some of these names that we have here. Some of them tend to operate quietly. Okay, so I remember there was a day I was driving through a neighborhood and I saw a massive building, and I saw a company name by the side. I don't know if I could mention the name, but I was like, how are they? Margins.
Again?
Margins.
Yeah, margins, yeah.
So I saw a building and I was like, Margins, what is Margins doing here? In a different country. Okay. And I know Margins in Ghana. Okay. But I did not expect. So it got me thinking at the time. Because
in which country?
I was in Nairobi at the time.
Okay.
So I got checking. I realized that, well, they actually have footprints in a lot of places doing different things. And then I was like, but in Ghana, you don't even mention the name of this company when we're talking about businesses. But apparently it was doing really well and was massive, but it prefers to work quietly, which is why I hesitated in bringing the name up, But we need a lot more of our companies to make these kinds of inroads. So Samuels mentioned like what Toby has been doing. We follow him today. He's trying to make business in Cameroon. He's trying to do this. Somebody, our president will put Toby on a plane with him and say, call Paul B and say, Paul, this is our man here. He provides electricity.
Where you
Look,
work?
Helping.
You have difficulties here and here. He can give you electricity at this and this and this. So that it becomes easy for him. So he does not have to go through the Cameroon Chamber of Business and Commerce and something. You remove that from there and he goes. Yeah. I think at a point, we saw that with, when, I think it was Sidalco at the time. They grabbed him by the hands and sent him to Angola or something. Like, this is the person who will provide you fertilizer or something. Yeah. Whether you like it or not, he has come. They gave him the contract, president to president. That is how businesses go, so that we can move some and jump the processes for some of these companies. Because when they grow, they employ more. We see that we cannot lie about the fact that no matter, a Ghanaian company will almost always look to employ Ghanaians.
Right.
But if they go to Cameroon and they offer the services and they are paid, where would the money go?
Like here. Repatriate here.
So this Ghana thing here, we won't stop talking about it. So if you are listening to us and you are waiting to, tuned off waiting that when they stop talking, they'll come back. Then don't come back again. We will hit the Ghana agenda till politicians listen and start implementing. Because look, no politician disagrees with us. Godfrey. None of them. They don't disagree.
No, they don't.
They do not disagree.
So what's the issue?
You have those who entered them. You see, I'm just saying that by what we are saying, we are not trying to suggest that the Ghanaian businessmen are clean and that they haven't made any mistakes, no offenses. No, that's not what we are saying. We are saying that if we push them, for instance, look at the Commander Sugar Factory. The Commander Sugar Factory, that politicians have taken cycles in promising that they will fix. And they happy themselves that they are fixing, and they know that they are not fixing. You understand? Look at where our trade fair facility is now.
It's one of the things that really brings.
We are waiting for a foreigner to bring his money to come and fix our trade fair for us, so that we can promote our trade.
We are waiting for somebody's money.
We are waiting for the foreigners' money to come and fix our trade fair so we can promote our trade. Isn't that interesting? When indeed we can cut the thing into pieces, get the likes of NS Chemist, Alisa Hotel, what's his name? Mr. Banfo, and all these despite people, put them together into one, what's the English word? Conglomerate, and push them to go and undertake that thing. It may sound like I don't know what I'm talking about, but that's how other countries have done it.
Right.
Let me ask you something.
Yes.
And this is on the other side. Maybe you can help. We don't seem to have a culture of mergers based on what you just. We like to keep our companies
because of our cultural exposures. You understand? It's me and my family. It's in me and my family. You understand? But if you go into soccer and you are playing football, yeah, you came from that kind of background, but you know that if you don't pass the ball to this person, they will never get there. So there's a new day of doing businesses. Even the banks, they collaborate. Even when they have gigs, they collaborate. 3 banks will put their money together to sponsor a project. So I'm just saying that why aren't we trying these Ghanaians who have proven in their various fields
that they can do their work?
Yeah. And it's better to take the risk with our own people. And I keep saying, Accra Tema, we don't have water transport. Meanwhile, the sea is there. Plenty. Last week, we went to do a project at the Jamestown beach.
Why?
If you see the garbage and the filth that we Ghanaians have deposited there, and these women who sell fish, they have to sit in the filth
to sell.
And you know what happens? We dump the thing at the Agboglosi area.
Then it makes its way there.
And then when it rains, it passes through there, under the Kole, enters the sea, and then it deposited there. Go and check. Why? We do this to ourselves. Nobody is stopping it. If you go to, I forget the name. There's a name they call that place where they dump the rubbish.
Lavender Hill.
No,
not Lavender
Hill.
Hill.
Yeah, this place. They dump everything there. Rubber. Go and see rubber.
I mean, as for the rubber thing,
And this is the beach that's in other countries. And I'm not even talking about a Western country. Freetown, Sierra Leone. Gambia. They are making tourism money because of natural beaches that are being kept clean. We are causing problems, sanitation problems, with the same natural resource that God has given us. And we say that nobody should criticize, nobody should talk about it, and that we are making headway. Headway where? To hit our head against the wall. Come on, let's get Ghanaians to lead industries. If you can't get Ghanaians to lead the industry, they'll go and sit down.
But Ghanaians must lead the industry.
There's another aspect of our culture that we don't talk about. The fact that even though we want to be rich, we want money, we shame people with wealth. So somebody makes their wealth, and it's tied to this whole pull him down syndrome that we talk about. Somebody has made their wealth, is doing what they are doing, and then we slander them, create all sorts of stories, all sorts of legends around them, and put them out there. So there are also people who could definitely take up aspects of industry, invest, but they hide it, and they hide themselves because they don't want to be shamed. And we don't talk about that. It happens a lot, a whole lot. So there are lots of cultural nuances that are also eating us up as Ghanaians. And until we address some of these things, we'll not progress.
Somebody has to do something about the situation. The filth at the beaches here.
The filth there is all over.
Oh no, it's not all over.
I
Go
say
to Keta.
inside.
Go to Keta
I'm not
Beach.
saying, okay, fine. That's
Go
Keta.
to
I'm just saying that
Keta
even
Beach
in
here,
that
no,
city, those
and
places
see how clean their beaches are. And then you come to Accra, nobody's doing anything about it, and we just, oh man, chaka.
Time now for jubilation. Oh God, I wish I had an answer. Causing sweet flow, our spirits will grow. We're sitting down, that's every day. And then behind the wall, the smiling sun stores. The people all know the reason why we still grow. So brothers be jamming, yes be jamming, yeah. We'll be jamming today, hiding it, oppressor man running. Whilst we jamming, yeah. We'll be jamming today. just heals and signs and delivers. Yes, he heals and signs and delivers. Oh yeah, yeah. I heard you cry. Oh God, I heard you. This feeling makes me feel so strong that I don't even know just what to do. Oh, yes, I really know now. I really got to get this straight. Yeah, I know my feelings are serious. We are going stop non-stop. So brothers be rising and be jamming. Yeah. We'll be jamming till they hiding it or press them around it. Once we jump in, we'll be jamming today. So say it's no from last time. In Ghana, we're stopping all the suffering. In Ghana, I say it's no from Africa. In Ghana, Jaja seals and signs and delivers. Yeah. Yes, he seals and signs and delivers. Oh yeah, oh, right on top of Mount Zion, with gladness I wipe my tears. Lord, raise my flag, red, gold, and green, so I can sing a song for Africa with honesty. Oh, the people should know. I say you will go right to the east, spread out to the west, spread out to the north, brother, go right to the south. Over
9:55. It's still the Citi Breakfast Show. Music from Rocky Dauni. Closest one in Ghana. We'll take a very quick break. When we come back, concluding thoughts and we wrap the show up. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
yes, I really know now. I really got to get this straight. Yeah, I know my feelings are serious.
The Citi Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise.
The Voice Factory Season 5 is on, and this has been the journey so far. The excitement,
What shall I say now? I swear.
No, I'll give you a stand ovation.
the disappointments,
Is
that it?
I have another song.
Adriana?
the soul-hugging voices, and the ones not so amazing.
broken down and tired of living life. This your love is sweeter than honey. Anything you do it for me. Tell them that this human nature why.
Third man story. We are seeing my way. I no get nothing.
Now we have our top 10 finalists. Get ready for the live show. On the 10th of June 2023, the magic of the Voice Factory Season 5 begins only on City TV. The Voice Factory is sponsored by Eddie's Pizza, Nalo Solutions, and Ebony Condoms.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show.
Unleashing the power of relevant radio. This is Citi 97.3.
Welcome back. 9:58. We are wrapping up in a second. But one final bit of information before we leave: the Literacy Challenge is back. The nationwide search for the best junior high student is on. I think it could be you going home with 10,000 CDs and a glitzy trophy. Then in not less than 600 words, write a story that ends with a statement: the happiest people do not have the best of everything. They make the best of everything they have. The story should be written in your own handwriting with the deadline of Saturday, 15th July in mind. Submit your entries to the front desk of Citi FM or mail them via post. PO Box GP 14123 Accra Central. Submissions must include an endorsement by a parent or guardian and their full contact details. For more enquiries, call 0558 973 973. The Literacy Challenge 2023 is powered by Citi TV and supported by Citi FM. Is sponsored by the Ghana National Gas Company. Yeah, a few quick shouts.
Yes, Ajua Eugenia Kofi within the oil and gas industry right here in Accra. Today is your birthday and we celebrate you. We wish you all the very best this day and many more months, years, decades ahead of you. Continue to do great things within the energy industry. Ajua Eugenia Kofi. Charlie, where the party day?
I see. Final one. This one says congrats to Professor Gordon Awandari, who is the UG Pro VC, Academic and Student Affairs. He delivered
his inaugural lecture.
Yes, life-saving inaugural lecture yesterday.
Oh,
the
I see.
Awandari's hypothesis goes beyond malaria tolerance as explanations for COVID-19 survival in Africa.
Wow.
Okay, that's come from his fellow in academia, Dr. Collins Ajiman. Collins Ajiman Bedu of the Psychology Department of the University of Ghana. Doc, how are you doing? I went to speak to his students about 2-3 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, in the psychology class.
Yeah,
really great guys. Doing some very interesting things in that space.
That's good.
Yeah. Anyway, that's our show for the morning.
Yeah, so you guys have a great evening.
It's okay. Would you be happy? That's our show for the morning. Many thanks for listening. My name is Nathan Kwai. I sat in for Bernard Avila. I did this with Richard the last guy, Godfred Akotoboafo, Samuel Atamensa. He joined us, and Apioko also joined us. Many thanks to you out there for listening. Many thanks for your messages. Daniel Squashy helped us on technical. Caleb Kuda Frejabano produced the show this morning. Caleb is here though with the news at